Panthers fans, it's time to get out of your seats. Get on your feet. It's time to get loud in this place. Are you ready? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Go, Cats, go. You know what's up when we ready to come say go, Cats, go. We getting amped when they light the lamp, say go, Cats, go. Since 93, one victory, say go, Cats, go. Go, Cats, go. Go, Cats, go. You know what's up when we ready to come say go, Cats, go. We getting amped when they light the lamp, say go, Cats, go. Since 93, one victory, say go, Cats, go. Go, Cats, go. South Florida, one trial. Throw your hands up one time. All the way past West Palm. Exit one back to Sunrise. We FLA live. On the ice, it's a skate grind. Going hard every period. Game time is a great time. In practice, not average. Whole team will go savage. In the game, we get hat tricks with hard hits and rat tricks. That's victory. And tell Stanley can sit with me as we watch live with the Pet fans right with me. Screaming out, let's make history. Saying, go, Cats, go. You know what's up when we ready to come say go, Cats, go. We getting amped when they light the lamp, say go, Cats, go. Since 93, one victory, say go, Cats, go. Go, Cats, go. Go, Cats, go. You know what's up when we ready to come say go, Cats, go. We getting amped when they light the lamp, say go, Cats, go. Since 93, one victory, say go, Cats, go. Go, Cats, go.
This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising.
What's up, baby? How y'all doing today? It's my camera. It is your boy, Stephen D. Super excited to be hanging out with you here on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Good morning to my Finlaws and my family. My name is Stephen Daniels. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. All right. Also follow Miami Sports Music everywhere at Miami Sports Music, except on Twitter, where we are at MIA Sports Music. On your way in today, make sure you hit the like button. Give us the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, helps people know that we're live, and share the link. Share the link right now. Tag us. Tagged Locked On Panthers Hockey, tagged on Cameron 954, tag Bryant McKinnie, who's coming up here a little bit later. We have a huge show today. Make sure you tag us, you share the link, let people know that we're live right now. We can't grow without your help, so make sure y'all do that. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notification. That way you get notified anytime Miami Sports Music goes live. Also, hey, look, you want to sign up to become a member today? There are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. We would love for you to sign up and become part of the family. My Vin Diesel voice, family. That's right. Make sure you sign up today. Become part of the family. There are plenty of seats waiting for you at the table. We'd love to get 3 new members today. Can we make that happen? Make sure y'all do that. All right. Also, hey, look, if you want to help the channel grow by donating, there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can use the YouTube live super chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat, or you can also use Cash App or PayPal. That's right, Cash App or PayPal, $ MSM Podcast Network, or use the QR code right on your screen, or MSM Podcast Network, or use the QR code right on your screen. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, the number one place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard-to-find items. Make sure you follow ZSM Sports today. Lime Less is More events supplies tickets and sports and entertainment events for less than the competition, allowing you to have more fun. Call 202-930-3533 to get a personalized experience with tickets and game or the event you want to attend today. Lime takes pride in providing the hottest tickets at great prices with absolutely no service fees. That's right. So make sure you guys do that today. And last but certainly not least, Tailgreeter. Download the app today or go to the website tailgreeter.com and make sure you do it. You can download it on your current Apple or Android device. Team Android all day. Make sure y'all do that. Download the app today. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Do want to remind y'all, we have 3 events that the last day of the pre-sale was yesterday. We have decided to extend it through one more week because tomorrow we are dropping the links for the hotels. We finally got all the hotel information locked in stone in all 3 cities. So we're going to extend it by 1 week. So the Baltimore Beatdown, if you guys want to attend the Baltimore Beatdown this year, remember we had like 150 strong last year. We're going to have a Saturday night meet and greet at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. We're going to have game tickets, upper level and lower level available, and obviously an all-inclusive VIP experience in the tailgate, specifically for Miami Dolphins fans. So make sure you guys do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Baltimore Beatdown 2023. Last year we had a great time, and this year we're going to do it all over again. It's going to be on New Year's Eve, so make sure you check that out. We're also going to do the FedEx Takeover. That's right. The FedEx Takeover is going to be in Washington, D.C. We finally have everything set in stone for that. We're just waiting to get the link for the hotel so that we can announce it. The Saturday night meet and greet is going to be there at the Admiral, which is the D.C. Fan Club's bar right there in DuPont Circle. Right there in Washington, D.C. We're going to have game tickets available. We already do, upper level and lower level, and all-inclusive tailgate tickets. All you can eat, all you can drink. So go to Tailgreeter, search FedEx Takeover, and last but certainly not least, the Philly Finvasion. That's right, the Philly Finvasion will be in Philadelphia. We are going to do the Saturday night meet and greet at Miller's Ale House, which is about 4 miles away from the stadium. We're going to have game tickets, upper level and lower level. It's already on sale. And obviously the all-inclusive tailgate, which is already on sale. This one and DC are selling out fast. As a matter of fact, we had to extend the pre-sale because we were getting such a high demand for Philly and DC. Now, Baltimore's a little bit trickier because it's New Year's Eve, but we're planning a New Year's Eve party that night now too. So be on the lookout for more information about Baltimore. So I hope you all come to that. Philly, DC, Baltimore. It's going to be awesome. Dolphins games all this year. Make sure you be on the lookout for it. All right. Look, today we got a big show. It's June 1st cuts and signings. We're going to talk Dalvin Cook. We're going to talk DeAndre Hopkins. We're going to talk Cedric Wilson. We're going to get into all that. Tonight is game 1 of the NBA Finals. We're going to talk a little bit about that. The Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. What should we look for tonight? Later on, in the show, we're going to have former Miami Dolphins All-Pro Bryant McKinnie joining us. Super excited about hanging out with him. And then now, let me bring on my co-host for the day, my brother from another mother, Mr. Cameron 954. Good morning, Cameron. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, good morning, Steven. Good morning, CLOCKBLOCKERS fam. How you doing this wonderful morning?
How are you, man? What's going on?
I'm doing good. Before we get into this big show, man, I want to give a shout out to Solo D, our co-conspirator here at Miami Sports Music. Happy birthday, Solo D.
Happy birthday, Solo!
Yes,
You might have to have him on a little bit later, too. That way we can all sing. Maybe we'll do that towards the end of the show. We'll bring on Solo and sing happy birthday to him. But, hey, look, today we got to talk some Stanley Cup Finals. I'm talking about the Vegas Golden Knights going down against our Florida Panthers. So, without further ado, from Locked On Panthers Hockey, ladies and gentlemen, Armando Velez. What's up, Armando?
What's up, Cameron? What's up, Steven? Great to be here.
Good morning, Armando. How are you, man?
I like the Miami Heat hat. You're ready to go, man.
Yep, got the Miami Heat hat, got the Florida Panthers hoodie here. So every single day on my show for the last few weeks, I've worn some type of combination of the two to represent.
Man, it's awesome, man. It's a super exciting time to be a fan of Florida and South Florida sports. And man, the Panthers and the Heat are representing themselves in their championship, in their prospective championship league. So,
and the Marlins walked off last night.
Marlins big win last night
too, man.
We will talk about that.
Man, we're gonna get into all that. All right, Armando, we only got you for a limited time. I apologize for getting to you so late, man. We were backed up this morning trying to get everything ready for today's show. Let's get into it. Vegas Golden Knights, Florida Panthers. What should fans expect out of this series for the Stanley Cup Finals?
It's funny because you look standing wise and you see the Vegas Golden Knights were 5th in points for the regular season. Of course, we know that the Florida Panthers took down the first place Boston Bruins President's Trophy winners, Maple Leafs, and then the 4th best record in the Carolina Hurricanes. But this one is going to be a lot different, especially with the Vegas Golden Knights being in the conference final 4 out of the last 6 years, going all the way back to their inaugural season when they made the Stanley Cup final before losing to 5 games against the Washington Capitals. But an experienced head coach in Bruce Cassidy on the other side, who went to a Stanley Cup final with the Boston Bruins back in 2019 before losing to the St. Louis Blues. It's funny enough, he has two players on his current Vegas Golden Knights squad who beat his Boston Bruins in Alex Pietrangelo and Ivan Barbashev there. So it's going to be a battle of the coaching matchups as these two coaches are in different stints now. But one thing that the Panthers do have the advantage in this series, in my opinion, are goaltending. Of course, with Aiden Hill being a journeyman goalie, being on his 3rd team in a few years, of course, Bobrovsky has the Vezina trophies and really, of course, hasn't lived up to that contract until just now in this playoff run. But also special teams for the Panthers versus the Golden Knights. Of course, the Panthers do go to the box more than they are on the man advantage. But as far as converting chances on the power play versus Vegas, the Panthers throughout the whole postseason have been better in that category. But of course, in the postseason, you're not going to go to the box as many times as on one side versus the other as well, because of course you don't want the officials to be part of the game of the game. So you want it to be settled at 5-on-5. So also the Florida Panthers, 5-on-5 play was great. If you go all the way back to game 1 of the Carolina series, that's how they won the game. The only 2 goals they gave up were on the power play against Carolina, and then they didn't allow a power play goal from then on out for them. So it's been really the even strength play, the 5-on-5 play is going to really be crucial. But on the Vegas Golden Knights side, you have 2 excellent defensive forwards in Jack Eichel, who's the 2nd overall pick from the Connor McDavid draft, and Mark Stone, who's been a Selke Trophy finalist. He was in the Selke Trophy. It was a Selke Trophy finalist the year that Alexander Barkov won in 2021. So it's a lot of matchups there. And Vegas during the offseason was reportedly interested in Paul Maurice during the offseason, but Paul Maurice ended up choosing Florida as his destination to want to coach. So a little bit of that of a storyline. And also one more storyline. Back in the expansion draft, back in 2017, Panthers GM at the time, Dale Talon, left Jonathan Marchessault exposed in the expansion draft and a 30-goal scorer for the Panthers in 2017. And then he gets claimed from the Vegas Golden Knights. And of course, part of a trade as well as part of that package was sending Riley Smith over as well in that same period of time. And there's a little bit of bulletin board material based on what happened in the Stanley Cup.
You left us the opportunity to get claimed. We're going to show you that was the wrong move. That's what they're thinking. But what they don't realize is that the Florida Panthers over here, we're not scared of anything. We beat the number 1 team. We beat the President's Cup team. Yep. We beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. We took care of business where we needed to take care of business. Let me ask you another question, man. Sergei Bobrovsky, I can't say his last name for the life of me. Bob has been absolutely amazing between the goals this year or this postseason. Why is he taking a step up in this postseason compared to the last 2 because you're right. He hadn't lived up to expectations, but now all of a sudden he's been on fire. I mean, we're talking about one of the best goaltenders in all of the NHL right now.
Well, going back to even last postseason, Bob Bobrovsky was the least of the Panthers' problems actually last year. I mean, he was part of the problem in the 2021 postseason as the Panthers were scoring a lot in the 2021 first round against the Tampa Bay Lightning before going out in 6 games. But it was really on the defensive end in that one. But then it flipped on his ugly head in 2022, where the power play went 1 for 31 in that postseason before being swept by the Tampa Bay Lightning in round 2. Yeah, they got their first round series win against the Washington Capitals, defeating them in 6. But Bobrovsky was the least of the Panthers' issues. But the thing is with Bobrovsky, he was playing at a level that you can win and that he was good enough to help the team win. But the Panthers on the other side weren't helping him. But now he turned it up a notch that even if the offensive scoring touch isn't necessarily there for the Panthers, he's giving them an opportunity for the Panthers to get that clutch goal. I mean, look at Matthew Tkachuk just in the conference final, 3 game-winning goals in games 1, 2, and 4, and then sets up the goal to Sam Reinhart on the power play in game 3. So he has 3 goals via a game winner and then an apple for that 1-0 shutout win for the Florida Panthers. But in that game 3 specifically, that doesn't happen without Sergei Bobrovsky. Game 1 doesn't happen without Sergei Bobrovsky going 55 of 55 at even strength as well in game 1 there as well. And listen, before game 4, the Panthers went 8 straight games of giving up 2 goals or less. So just goes to show how locked in Sergei Bobrovsky is and how different he has been in this postseason. It's also a little bit of life happening too off the ice too. Of course, he has a non-COVID illness, doesn't start the last few weeks of the regular season. Alex Lyon starts the postseason and then gets inserted in game 3 when the Florida Panthers are being blown out by the Boston Bruins 4-0. And then I was even saying that you should go back to Alex Lyon for game 4 because of game 5 because of how Sergei Bobrovsky looked in game 4. But that was seen as the warm-up game for the Florida Panthers. And he makes a great stop on a breakaway on Brad Marchand, which honestly, looking back at that was the season changer for the Florida Panthers. And we're talking about 3 rounds ago for the Panthers. And look where they are now. Without that save in game 5, the Panthers aren't here.
Hey, Armando, you touched on a good subject about Matthew Tkachuk. He's clearly, probably the best player on the ice outside of, both teams. What can we see from Las Vegas to negate his superiority? I mean, the Panthers are a different team when Matthew Tkachuk is on the ice. They're controlling the puck at a higher rate than any other team in the playoffs. What can we see out of Vegas to try to negate some of Tkachuk's superiority?
It starts with the veteran leadership on the D pairs for the Vegas Golden Knights in Alex Pietrangelo, who was the captain of the St. Louis Blues when they won the Stanley Cup, and Alec Martinez, who has a game-winning goal, a cup-clinching goal during his time with the LA Kings when they defeated the New York Rangers back in 2014, a team that Mark Stahl was on back in that year as well. It starts with those guys as well. And Shea Theodore is definitely one as well in the top 4 for the Vegas Golden Knights as well. Vegas is the top shot blocking team remaining in the NHL postseason. And even before they clinched their series against the Dallas Stars, I mean, they were leading the way by a lot in block shots. And of course, what happens when you're blocking a lot of shots? That means the puck is in your zone quite a bit. And both of these teams and I broke this down on my episode today, that both of these teams are mostly on their defensive end more than they are on their offensive end. But that's not the end-all be-all when it comes to that. They are more quality over quantity. When we were talking about how when Pete DeBoer was the coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, who Pete DeBoer was also the coach of the Florida Panthers in the early 2010s, late 2000s, it was a lot of shots on goal, but a conversion rate that was not as high as what Bruce Cassidy brings to the Vegas Golden Knights here. So Corsi for percentage, for the listeners who don't know what Corsi is, it's another way of saying shot attempts. Both of these teams are outshot as far as cumulative numbers all throughout the postseason. So I'm also interested to see what the possession metrics are going to look like between these four teams, because Carolina controlled the puck most of it. But hey, the Florida Panthers converted on their opportunities even when they didn't have the puck. And Vegas has done that as well, especially for Vegas in their second round series against the Edmonton Oilers, where they went to the box 23 times, which is as they went to the box as many times in that second round series as they did in rounds 1 and 3 combined. Right. Of course, with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl at the other end, they're going to put you out of position. But, you know, they've done well, even though they haven't controlled the puck the most of the time. So
to expound upon what you're saying, so what does Paul Maurice do when both teams are so defensive minded? Are we going to see more stretch passes, precision stretch passes coming out of the forecheck, or how is Paul Maurice going to put pressure on Adin Hill?
He's definitely gonna try to do probably the pass off the pads where you're gonna try to get a juicy rebound there, especially on the rush. If you have two back, and then try to make Adin Hill go for a pad save, and then if it bounces, especially if you go far side, especially, I think that's a good opportunity for someone to go off a rebound. So it's not as quick for Adin Hill to go from left to right or vice versa, and get in that and get in a goal there. So that's going to be really a big strategy for the Florida Panthers. I also think that whenever the pucks are in the corners as well, taking away the eyes of Adin Hill as well, and working it around. And I mean, if you see on one of the goals that the Florida Panthers had against the Toronto Maple Leafs, where it was a pass off the end boards, and then Sam Reinhart scores on the wraparound, they took away the eyes of Joseph Wall there. And I'm hoping to see that the Florida Panthers do the same thing with Adin Hill in this series. I mean, what a story for him as well. I mean, yeah, the defense is playing around him, but you look at his overall numbers. I mean, his GAA is just a hair over 2, and his save percentage is just about the same as Sergei Bobrovsky's there as well. So it's not just the shot blocking for Adin Hill. He's definitely passing with flying colors, and he didn't even. And one thing that both of these goalies have in common, they didn't start the playoffs. Adin Hill had to come in because Laurent Brossoit got injured in the Edmonton series, and you look at the replay of Laurent Brossoit, you see that he stretches out. It looks like a groin injury the way he stretched out his leg there, and it was not an injury that I'd want to experience there. And listen, this is Adin Hill's opportunity, and he's running with it.
Hey, Armando, I have a question for you. So right now there's going to be, an NHL Finals in Las Vegas and an NHL Finals in Sunrise. What is the difference, obviously, besides, the apparent being Vegas and Sunrise, but what is the atmosphere is going to be like in these two arenas over the next week and a half?
It's going to be huge because you have a market. I'm obviously I'm more familiar with the South Florida market, being a West Kendall native. Shout out to all my people from the hammocks. Listen, just casually, if you're wearing a Florida Panthers sweater around Miami-Dade County, especially, you don't really get a lot of responses as much about the Florida Panthers. Of course, you do with the Miami Heat, the Miami Dolphins there, but even people are talking about it here. And people talk about viewership and all that stuff. It's mostly people talk about it north of the border in Canada. But you have a region that's pumped for a winner for in this sport for the first time in 27 years. Mm-hmm. So that has to mean something. And the few times that I have watched a Vegas Golden Knights game, and of course, with them being only 6 years in the league and the energy still being there for making conference finals 4 out of the last 6 years, Vegas is top 5. And fun fact, Seattle is also in the top 5 in the NHL in generating revenue for the NHL. Of course, new franchise energy as well, but it also goes down to their AHL affiliates as well. For Seattle's affiliate, the Coachella Valley Firebirds, this is their first season as an AHL affiliate. They actually used to share an affiliate with the Florida Panthers in Charlotte last year, but the energy that's even in their AHL affiliates is real, and it's generating a lot of revenue for the league. So those are Seattle and Vegas are 2 very important markets for the NHL right now. But as far as Sunrise, Florida, it's not only the success that the Florida Panthers are having, but the marketability of a superstar like Matthew Tkachuk, who's very outspoken, very in your face. Started off with the whole "I hate Tampa" more as well, and then of course the comments from Keith Tkachuk, like we've spoken about many times on this program back in Toronto on March 29th, and of course the shots of Keith Tkachuk excited when his son scores with 4.3 seconds left in Game 4. As well, and then all this other superstars that from other sports who have attended Florida Panthers games. I mean, you talk about Brooks Koepka as well. Even I'm going to give a special shout out to a very known fan around South Florida who goes to all the biggest events, Marlins man as well.
Marlins man, that man is everywhere, bro. I want to get him on the show so bad.
So yeah, you even have those people and shout out to Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel as well, Raheem Mostert as well being at the events as
Mr.
well.
Marlin was there banging the drum.
Yeah, so Jeff Conine. So you have a whole bunch of people so hyped about this Florida Panthers team, and it's gonna and to think that this team plays in West Broward and not in downtown Fort Lauderdale, it's definitely huge for not only marketability, but also if you're Vinny Viola, you're thinking franchise value going up.
That's all he's thinking about. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Armando, these teams are both evenly matched in terms of depth. I would think Vegas is a stacked, all 4 lines deep, and you could say the same for the Panthers. Who's your pick to click, outside of Tkachuk and Riley Smith and some of these, players that you just mentioned? Who do we not know that, has opportunity to really make a name for themselves on both teams?
I think this is a real opportunity for the third line to get things going. I mean, they shined so well in the second round series against the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. And every single series, it's been one line showing up and picking up another. I mean, in the first round, it was the second line doing most of the work. In the second round, it was the third line, and then the Barkov line was doing all that. And it's funny because on the defensive end, on the blue line for the Panthers, Brandon Montour was a little quiet offensively in the conference final. So is it Brandon Montour's time to unleash after a little bit of quiet offense, at least on the offensive side? But if you're doing your job defensively, there's not much complaints about Brandon Montour as well. And especially with how well he's played this season. I mean, he logged almost an hour of ice time in that quadruple overtime game in Game 1 against the Carolina Hurricanes. So looking to see what Brandon Montour as well can bring to the table. I mean, and of course, I got to give a lot of credit to that Forsling Ekblad pair as well for the Florida Panthers. I've had a lot of complaints about them throughout the regular season, but as far as get in their own zone and not giving up as many rushes and cleaning up rebounds as well for the Panthers, they have done the job as well. And for the Vegas Golden Knights, bottom 6 scoring is really good. William Karlsson, who's their third line center, he has 10 goals in the postseason so far. I mean, he was a 40 goal scorer in their first season with the Vegas Golden Knights as well. And of course, in Game 6 of their series against the Dallas Stars, it was the bottom 6 for Vegas who was getting the score going in that 6-0 shutout over the Dallas Stars. Nicholas Wall, Willem Carrier, and Keegan Colasar as well. Those guys have been so it's gonna also, we're gonna have to see what the Eric Stahl line, Ryan Lomberg and Colin White, how they match up against them too, because the way to win the Stanley Cup, you got to have at least for the most part 3 lines going, but a fourth line being there, it's an added bonus as the minutes are crunched throughout the postseason with the top 9. Think of in basketball the 8-man rotation. That's with the top line, and that's what you got to do with your top 3 lines in hockey.
All right, last question I have for you. By the way, real quick, you were talking about affiliates. Shout out to the Florida Everblades winning their title, the ECHL, the Florida Panthers affiliate. Boy, Florida's doing big things. I don't care what anybody says.
I'll be at Game 3. I'll be at Game 3 of Florida Everblades versus Idaho Steelheads in Estero next Wednesday, and I'll have the Heat game in my ear while at that game.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. Super excited about that. All right, let's kind of discuss Matthew Tkachuk and what his role is going to be in this finals, because here's the reality of the situation. he might be one of the most famous hockey players on the planet right now. That's how hot he's been. He was in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's being talked about on NBA TNT with, Charles Barkley and Ernie Johnson. He is everywhere right now. If he has a huge finals, does he automatically become one of the most popular hockey players in the world?
It's funny because I think he's already there despite all that. That's the thing. And the attitude, the you're not going to bully my teammates mentality, that he's going to be there, especially with Matthew Tkachuk and Brent Burns going at it, especially when Brent Burns went after his groin area. I believe it was game 3 or game 4, one of those two, between an intermission, that he's not gonna take anyone's crap as well. And that interview was so great, especially when Charles and Shaq were Chuck was saying, "Oh, can I smack Shaq for a 5-minute for a minor penalty or even a 5-minute major?" And then it's like, "What do you want to do, teammate?" And then of course, Shaq's honesty with not watching hockey, he just likes the fights. But hey, that's what it's okay if that's the only thing that you like about the sport. I don't judge in that aspect, but it's just great for marketability once again for this Florida Panthers team, and it helps that both Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers are making this run. I don't think we've seen a run like this by two teams in hockey and basketball since 2016, when the San Jose Sharks and the Golden State Warriors made their finals. Ultimately, both teams happened to lose their final rounds too.
And I was thinking about that too, Armando. Like, San Jose and Golden State, like it's like 2.5-3 hours away from each other. We're 35 minutes, 45 minutes.
They're 40. San Jose and Oakland are 45 minutes apart as well. They're on the southern side of the Bay Area.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, and also another region that made the final in the same year was 1994. The New York Rangers and the New York Knicks made it. The New York Rangers defeated the Vancouver Canucks in the 94 final, but the New York Knicks lost to the Houston Rockets in the NBA finals that year as well, which documentary recommendation, June 18th, 1994, which is one of the greatest sports moments. Arnold Palmer's last major, O.J. Simpson. You have Knicks and Rangers making it the final. Highly recommend that 30 for 30 on ESPN, covering June 18th, 1994. But this for Matthew Tkachuk, going back to the Tkachuk question, it's just great for him. And listen, Alexander Barkov, he's a quiet leader. It's not as marketable for a guy who's just very reserved, which is, I'm not going to give him crap for it. That's just who he is. But you have a superstar in Connor McDavid. Not only is he very dry personality-wise, but he plays out in the West Coast. I mean, the game six between Vegas and Edmonton on Mother's Day started at 10 p.m. Eastern. So a lot of people couldn't even see Connor McDavid play as well, because a lot of people had to work the next morning. So it helps that Matthew Tkachuk went from Calgary all the way to the East Coast in Florida, where most people can see Matthew Tkachuk play, even if they're not a Florida Panthers fan.
All right, Armando, we appreciate you coming on today. Tell the people where they can find all your stuff you got coming up. And we want to see you next week in the middle of the finals to get an update on what your feeling is during the finals, man.
And for next week, I think we got to, have a fundraiser. We got to get you some furniture, some background there, Armando.
We got to get you some stuff in the background there, Armando.
It's actually by design. It's a minimalist design.
There you go.
So he's doing everything Armando does is calculated, Cameron. Mm-hmm. He's a calculated man.
It's if you even go on my Twitter bio, it even says minimalist on the bio. But my bedroom does have my sports stuff in it. So
I'll send you a Michael Jordan cutout.
You don't need that. You don't need that. You can get a LeBron James one. You'll be very happy.
But
all right, Armando, tell the people where they can find you, brother.
People can follow me on Twitter at MondoMan12. Follow the show account on Twitter at LO_FLA Panthers and on Instagram as well. And of course, follow the show account on YouTube as well. We are booming with the subscribers there as well, and can't wait for both the Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers to hopefully make and finish the job and bring championships to South Florida.
I like it. Championships. I like it. All right, Armando. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on, brother. Be good.
Good to see you, Armando.
All right, man. Cameron, dude, I'm so excited, man. We got to switch gears real quick.
Switch it up.
I'm stoked. So I've been a Dolphins fan my entire life, obviously with the Honorable Solo D for over a decade now. Solo's birthday is today. We're gonna have Solo on a little bit later. I just texted him, so Solo's gonna come on. We're gonna party with him for a little bit on his birthday. But I first met this gentleman that we have next through Solo at a game during the post game, and I had to look. I'm a pretty big guy, but I had to look up to this guy. That's how big this guy is. But he's one of the nicest personalities I've ever met. And, I've only gotten to talk with him a handful of times post-game at Dolphins games. But I'm excited that he's coming on. We've talked about getting him on the show for a couple of years now, and we're finally getting him on now, and I'm super excited. So without further ado, former Miami Dolphin offensive lineman, one of the NFL greats, ladies and gentlemen, B-Mac, Bryant McKinney.
What up?
How are you?
Good morning, Bryant.
Good morning. I'm pretty good.
Man, thank you for coming on. I should have said you great too, because man, I see you, man. First of all, thank you for coming on. I know we've been going back and forth for a little while now, trying to get you on. I appreciate you taking the time to come on this morning. I guess first things first, man. You're a South Floridian. I just got to ask. It's crazy right now in South Florida sports, right? Miami Heat, Florida Panthers, just everything seems to be going right. Miami Marlins with the walk-off win, and obviously the Dolphins and all the hype they got. What is it like for South Florida sports right now?
Very busy, and when Miami's doing good, a lot of people like to attend the game, the sports and everything too. So that's pretty well for the city. I
mean, I'm stoked about it. I know you are. Have you been to any games yet this postseason? Have you been to any Heat or
I'm trying to get to a finals game. So I haven't been to any games.
This season,
for basketball, kind of snuck up on me. The Dolphin games, I pretty much go to all the home games, but for basketball, I haven't been to a basketball game in a minute.
I know, dude. It's going to be crazy over there at the arena. I know Solo was telling me he was looking at tickets and he was like, "Holy cow, it's so expensive, absolutely crazy." But he wants to go, and I want him to go. All right, man. Let's get into Dolphins talk right now, man. Right now, OTAs are going on. What do you think of this team right now? The Dolphins are probably the best that they've looked in probably the last 15 to 20 years. I don't know how you feel about that.
I absolutely think they are. I feel like even last season you could see like a big difference, as long as you keep the quarterback healthy. And then I just looked at the grade-wise, after the draft and how the Dolphins did, and the Dolphins were in the top 10 teams who graded out well. So on paper, they're looking good right now. It's all about keeping people healthy.
How do you translate from paper to the field? Is it during these times of the year in OTAs? Is it during training camp? How do they get it to where it's going to equal to wins and the numbers in the win column?
Yeah, all these moments, they matter, from the OTAs and then training camp, and then just how they really take care of their body and try to just stay away from injuries. Some injuries you can't predict, but just keeping guys healthy. It's just big, and as you can see, like last year, even with like keeping the quarterback healthy, made a big difference too. So, trying to keep everybody on the field and healthy, and keep your best players on the field, is what's best for the Dolphins. So, as long as they're able to do that, I feel like they can walk away and have actually a great season.
Cameron.
Hey, Bryant, as an offensive lineman, I believe you were a left tackle, right, here in Miami. And you see what Austin Jackson and Teron Armstead are going through, battling their injuries and trying to get healthy for this upcoming season. Can you talk a little bit about what's involved for someone of your size, an offensive lineman, and what they have to do to prepare to remain healthy for the regular season?
I can't, because I never missed a game due to injury or anything.
Yeah, best answer ever. Best answer ever.
That was good, D-Mac. That was good. That was good.
Just don't get hurt.
It's easier said than done, man.
What I would say is like I've learned that flexibility plays a big part in it. So having and I take yoga now as being retired. So flexibility plays a big part in injuries, and I get to stay in conditioning, because normally a lot of times when people get hurt is due to like kind of being out of shape a little bit, and your technique or something gets bad. Not all the time, but just some things are freak accidents. But you just kind of, I guess, work on those things. They know what areas they're weak in, and I feel like those are the areas you're supposed to work harder in. But a lot of people like to work on the areas they're already good at. But it's like, you're good at that already, so let's start working on the areas that you're a little weaker in.
D-Mac, you came into the league in 2002. You were a first-round, 7th overall pick to the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you were around for was, there wasn't as many rules and regulations to OTAs, training camp, how many practices you do in a day. Now there's only 10 allowed OTAs during the offseason. There's only so many full padded practices they can do in training camp. Does that play an effect to the injuries that they might be seeing on the field throughout the year?
Well, I mean, because now that there's a less, the chances of getting injured and hurt and stuff goes down because you don't have as many times of being exposed to those different type of practices and things like that. It's less wear and tear on your body too, so you're preserving some people, But
does it make it that they're not being able to work out and that some of these injuries are occurring because they're not getting enough time in on the field?
I honestly, when we played, I didn't feel like we needed 2 days all the time like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought a lot of that was a lot of wear and tear. I remember one year specifically in Minnesota, he ran us into the ground so hard in 2 days that we came out the first 7 games, went 7-0, and then by the time the 8th game came, it was like we started going downhill. You can burn people out too with that. So it just really depends on how the coach goes about it and rest players. You still need recovery time too. So you don't want to burn these players out in OTAs and training camp and things like that, and then expect them to go through this long season. You know what I mean?
Especially now with the extra game.
Exactly, with the extra game and everything. So they got to find a healthy balance.
How do you looking at young players, Cameron was kind of talking about, Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg and Robert Hunt, and we're looking at some of these young players. Fans for the last 20 years, Dolphins fans anyway, have been prone to not seeing greatness on the field when it comes to the offensive line, with the exception of Pouncey and you, the year that we had you, and a few other names here and there. Why is it that the Dolphins for so many years have, for example, they've had 9 offensive line coaches in the last 10 years? You can't tell me that doesn't play a factor in how mediocre this offensive line has been for the last decade, right?
Yeah, because the coach is supposed to bring out kind of the best in you and teach you some things. I mean, a lot of it just to me comes from the front office and who they're hiring, and are they aware of who they're hiring and why they're hiring these people. I feel like a lot of decisions of who's being drafted comes from the front office. So to me, a lot of it's the front office. You're hiring these coaches, you're drafting certain players, and it's basically like who's making these decisions.
Now, when you were playing in 2013, and you had the wonderful, amazing coach of Joe Philbin, right? Is that who your head coach was at that time? I don't mean to say it like that, but I do all at the same time. Let me ask you, seeing Mike McDaniel compared to when you had Philbin in Miami, night and day difference, right? From what you see?
I mean, it seems like a Philbin reminded me for some reason of Coach Coker, where it was kind of like he was there. I don't think anybody was really intimidated, and not that you want to be intimidated by your head coach, but you get what I'm saying, like kind of intimidated a little bit, like I don't know, but I feel like he was there and he just guided the team. He didn't really lead the team.
Yeah, it was more of a passive style of coaching.
Yeah, it might have been a little too passive, especially for a young group of guys who are in Miami.
You were there during the Hard Knocks year, right?
No.
Okay,
no.
all right.
But that team had some veteran leadership on it too. You had Cameron Wake and
I feel like you had, when you say veteran leadership, I think you had people on there who made big plays, but they weren't very vocal.
Oh, got you.
So you guys may look at it from a distance and say like, oh, veteran leadership, yeah, they make a lot of good plays, but they're not very vocal in the locker room.
Who was the leader? Who was the leader?
When I got there, I was trying to figure out who the leader was. I used to sit with Tannehill the night before and kind of just give him little key talking points, and felt like you need to be the leader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he felt like he was young, but we would sit there and talk at night, and I was try to push him to say, listen, everybody's going to still respect you at the end of the day. You're the quarterback. You are, the leader of the team. It's not based on age. And he would take some of my talking points and bring it up, but I didn't feel like he was comfortable yet. And then I think as he, when he left and progressed, he probably started to get more and more comfortable with that role though. But when I got there, I think it was only like his maybe second, or still early for him, second or third year.
I think it was his second year, if I'm correct, when you were there.
Okay.
I got a question. Speaking about members of that team, and one of the more fascinating and debated draft picks, and people can say he was a flop, but he came to the table with some issues. Was Deion Jordan that year? Can you talk about how gifted an athlete Deion Jordan was?
Yeah, he definitely was a great athlete. I definitely remember him as well. He was just young, and that probably goes to like maybe like these teams should start getting some type of therapist in there that helps these guys talk to some people to help them work their way through some things that they may be going through in life to make things a little smoother, like and especially a smoother transition to being young and then going from college and now going here and learn how to be a pro. I just know when I was in Minnesota, coming from Miami and the team that we had is like they just automatically assumed I knew how to be a pro. It was like I had to sit back and watch. Nobody was sharing their information with me. I had to sit back and just like watch things that people was doing. Okay, the cold tub. Okay, they're getting massages on Fridays. Okay, they're getting chefs to help them with their meal. Like I just had to listen to things and hear and just slowly just add things to my repertoire.
Yeah. Yeah,
one of the things that I find interesting, especially from your team, to go back to the quarterback role, was somebody like Ryan Tannehill compared to Tua. So Dolphins fans have PTSD when it comes to quarterback, obviously having the greatness of Dan Marino and living in that shadow for every quarterback that comes through. But even Marino never won it all, right? So looking at that, what do you think about Tua Tagovailoa? Are you a fan of his? Do you think he has what it takes? How are you? What is your opinion about the injury proneness that he's had?
Yeah, last season I felt like, okay, this guy, and I felt like he was a difference maker. You could see when he was playing how the game went versus when he did play. So he's actually a playmaker. And I always look at with quarterbacks too, I feel like by their third or fourth year, they should kind of have it all together because you've seen every defense, within your 4 years. Mm-hmm. So I look for him to be able to react faster now, things. And I felt like last year he did a great job. It was just he couldn't stay healthy, just from getting those concussions or whatever. But offensive line needs to just kind of take a little more pride, I guess, in that and trying to keep him healthy and and whether they just form something in the locker room of like trying not to get him hit or just something like because he's like kind of key to the team. Definitely last season was definitely key to the team's win or loss margin.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I just want to see is the Dolphins be successful, and play deep into the playoffs. And I don't remember it too much in my lifetime personally. Cameron is a little bit older than me, so he probably does, but I don't. And all I want to see is them be good. And I think that it starts in the trenches. And for years, I just think that that's been a rotating door. And right now,
because I don't really recall too many like elite like. You had Jake Long here, so I remember him playing.
Jake Long and Pouncey were probably the two best offensive linemen in the last 20 years.
Carey too, who did
and to be fair, you only played 1 year here, so I mean,
half a season.
Yeah, so I think that talent-wise, you were one of the most talented, but you only played a half a season. So I will go to say that Jake Long and Pouncey were the two best offensive linemen in the last 20 years here. Yeah. Cameron, do you disagree with me?
And who is the offensive lineman that was signed from Kansas City to play right tackle?
Eric Fisher.
No. Years ago in 2016-17. I'll come up with his name here in a second. But you're right. Like, it seems like we draft these players and maybe, it's identifying the right players in the draft, or it's not bringing the coach is not bringing it up to the next level. But there seems to be a lot of not a lot of continuity over the past few years in the offensive line. And, hopefully that gets rectified this year. I know they spent big money on Teron Armstead. They've invested a lot of draft picks in Eichenberg and Austin Jackson. And again, these players need time to develop. They've been through many, offensive line coaches and offensive coordinators. And this is
and that's a lot too. When you go through a lot of different coaches, because even I had a few coaches and offensive line coaches all have their different styles. So now every time a coach comes in, he's trying to make you change technique and things like that, and you're readjusting to that. And that's kind of annoying because for me, I feel like at a certain point in my career, I was fine at what I was doing, but now you're coming in and you're trying to make me change some things. Mm-hmm. And then I've even had a head coach tell me to keep playing how I play. And if my position coach says something to me, he'll say something to him. And it's like, that's a lot going on in the brain. Like, you want me to play how you know I can play, but if my position coach says something to me, you'll step in, but what if you're not there? It's just too much. So,
yeah.
Just have an understanding and stop putting all this stuff in people's head and just keep a coach there for a minute. Just figure out a good coach and keep them there for a minute and let them just get acclimated to how this style of coaching is.
And Brandon Albert was the name I was coming up with because he came over.
He came right after me.
Yeah, he came right after you. He was an All-Pro. Talk about Richie Incognito. I mean,
Richie was actually a leader in the locker room as well. But like, I was only there for 5 days before the bullying thing started, so I only played one game with him. Yeah. And like, the purpose of me even coming was because they needed help on the line. So I came to left tackle, and then they moved Jonathan Martin to right tackle, and then Richie was the left guard next to me. We only played in one game together as a unit. And then we were dominating in running the ball. There was a little confrontation in the locker room at halftime because receivers wanted to get the ball passed to them because we were winning at halftime. And we came out and kind of changed the game plan. And that's things that, for me as a coach, you're trying to satisfy players and not really focus on overall winning the game. And it cost us later. And then that situation, because we had a Thursday night game following that Sunday night game, is when the whole so-called bullying thing came. So now it's like, you brought me in to help strengthen the line, and now we lose 2 starters in that one situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a fantastic point.
And I'm not asking you to necessarily get into details of Bullygate, but when you have an off the field issue plaguing a locker room, how does that mess with the psyche of the rest of the locker room?
It didn't at all, because I didn't feel like I didn't see it as a real issue in my 5 days being there. I thought it was a joke. So
I think we all did too when it was all said and done.
All right. I was in there and I still thought it was a joke. So I didn't even know it was bullying until cameras and media's there every day, and then they're investigating us, asking us questions. And I'm like, oh, this is for real. Like, I thought it was a whole joke, because the way it started was where O-line was 8 together, and Jonathan he came in last, and Richie said when he comes, he's going to sit his tray down, go get something to drink, and when he comes back, we're all going to get up and put our trays away. That's all that we did. And he flipped the tray over and stormed out. And I was like, and if that's considered bullying, I thought it was like a prank or a joke. But if that's considered bullying, I guess the world is really sensitive. And I didn't think it would lead. I didn't think it would go that far. But you also missed practice. Remember, we had to practice that week because we had a Thursday night game. So he left out. He missed practice. You're going to get fined. So I guess you got to come up with something to kind of cover your butt so you don't get fined, I guess. So make it more dramatic. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
That's crazy.
But it is like, and it's funny because all the years later I've gotten to hear, unfortunately, the Dolphins have had a lot of off the field incidences, and knowing Solo and getting to know some of the players through Solo, I've heard some of these real stories compared to what was said through the media, and it's the way it gets translated through the media is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not different. What it was. Just from me being there, and then from me seeing stuff on the news, and then I remember I was only there for 5 days, so everybody from the Ravens was calling like, "What's going on?" As soon as you got there, I'm like, "There's nothing to do with me." They sat next to each other on a plane. I thought they were friends.
I'm not here.
Right, I thought they were friends. They sat next to each other on a plane ride. Like, I don't know, this is crazy, and it just drug out throughout the season. So for me, I feel like it played a little as a distraction a little bit at times in the locker room, because it's like that was more of the media's focus, when it was like, to me, not a big deal. It's like something that could just get worked out. You don't have to keep asking us every day about the bullying that we didn't feel like was bullying.
It's what goes on in any football locker room, let alone an NFL locker room.
I just feel like the response to it was just like
ridiculous.
No, B-Mac, let me switch it up for a second and take it back to college. You're a U guy, man. Is Mario the man?
I went through way worse at the U than he. He was still hazing and stuff, and we were getting hazed and all that stuff. So I went through way worse.
Who was there when you were there on the O-line? Who was there in Miami when you were there, University of Miami?
You had Rich Mercier. You had Joaquin Gonzalez, Brett Romberg, Martin Bibler, Vernon Carey. Carlos Joseph, Chris Myers. Did I say Brett Romberg?
Yep.
Sherko Haji Razuli, Ed Wilkins. I don't know if I'm leaving anybody out, but
if they are, you'll get a text later.
Right.
Hey, but going back to my question, Mario, was brought in and he's a U guy and he brought in all this offensive.
He's my position coach.
Coaching. Is he the man? Is he the one to lead us back to the promised land?
He should be. I mean, he won twice as a player and once as a coach. He definitely knows what it looks like to be a winner. He definitely knows what hard work looks like and feels like because he was part of it and he coached it. So he knows what it takes. He knows the quality of players. You can look at his resume even from when he went to other places coaching. He did a great job at those other schools as well. I just tell people you have to give him time. He has only his freshman class that's in there right now. So give them by the time they're juniors. So they're about to be sophomores this year by the time they're juniors because all they'll know is his work ethic. While you had guys that were 3 years ahead of them who knew what the work ethic was prior and probably would complain and moan to the other guys like, oh, we're not used to it. Once he gets his guys in there and they're dominant, like most of them is his guys, that's all they know. So you know what I'm saying? So let them get in there good and that's all they'll know and they'll understand and have a different mindset compared to the guys that were in there before. And I just felt like I like him too because he knows the culture. A lot of these coaches didn't know the Miami culture and just was coming up with just different things just to do, thinking it's Miami, and didn't know the Miami history. And what I liked about it when I was there, you had coaches like Coach Saul and Kehoe and Cristobal and all those guys who were there with Warren Sapp. So we asked questions, they could tell us the history. And so it made us even happy and proud when you had those guys on the sideline. You're playing even harder because you don't look like a scrub in front of Michael Irvin and Bernie Kosar and Warren Sapp and all them. So things like that, they got to start bringing back some of those traditions.
Mm-hmm. B-Mac, you talk about the kind of generation that you were in with the Bullygate, and obviously now it's even worse. Going back to, instituting college football programs and how you get it, the portal is a totally different world compared to when you were in college football. How does that make it difficult, you think, for player or for teams, for schools to build up a program when you have the college portal where anybody can just jump into it now for any reason that they want?
The thing is, with that portal, people only see like the people who actually get picked up. A lot of people jump in that portal and don't get picked up at all. Right. So that's a little risk that they take. But two, I feel like it's a scapegoat for people to kind of not fight for positions. Like when we came in, Clint Portis was telling James Jackson, I'm coming to take your position. Like we came with an attitude like we wanted to take somebody's position, which made that other person work harder to keep their position. You know what I'm saying? We didn't mind battling and fighting it out for somebody's position. You know what I mean? And not settling and saying, well, I'll just wait my turn. No, I'm going to try to take your turn. And it's going to make you raise your level up. So
competition breeds
now
competition.
These guys don't really like competition. They like things given to them. That's why this Instagram, they got like this microwave thing. Like, they call it like the microwave success where it's right now, it's quick, it's easy. And you actually appreciate it when you have someone who's pushed you or you were able to challenge yourself against somebody else. And when y'all both get to that next level, y'all see like, yeah, because of you, you played an impact on my career because I had to live up to your level or vice versa.
One of the things that I hope to see this year from the University of Miami is some wins that translate on the field, because last couple of years there have been some pretty rough losses and tough losses. Do you think that will translate as he gets more of his players into the program?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's building a mindset with those guys. And I think they're, and it just takes for them to buy in. I do think that, the last time I was there dealing with the offensive line, I feel like they need to become a little more of a cohesive group, not just on the field, but outside. So, like, when I was in school, like, we hung out outside of the heck and everything. Like, we hung out. I had guys come to Jersey, like Joaquin and Ed Wilkins and Ed Reed and Marquise Fitzgerald. Like, we hung out and did things outside of just being, at practice or in school. And that helps build, like, a lot of more character and a family bond. And it makes you really protect and have, those individuals' backs. And when people see that, especially when there's leaders on the team, it makes everybody kind of follow suit, and they'll start building their own little. Because like you had us who were seniors, but then you had them and DJ Williams doing that too with their group of guys too in their age, and it just can become contagious.
Hey, speaking of Ed Reed, real quick side question: what's going to make him a great head coach for somebody's program down the road? Because let me just say, so you don't know, I live north of Baltimore here, so that's where I'm located at, and I travel down to Miami, as often as I can. But I know Ed Reed as far as the impact he's had on the community here in the Baltimore area. Obviously, what he's done in South Florida. I'm a huge fan of his, and I thought he got the raw end of the deal in his last situation.
He did, for being honest.
Yep.
Exactly.
But I think he can be a huge asset to somebody's program. And seeing what Dion did at Jackson State and now what he's doing at Colorado, explain to the people why Ed Reed would be the perfect person to lead a group of young men.
I feel like Ed has a lot of knowledge. Ed has a lot of resources. Ed has a lot of experience. Being a player, and then he also knows what it takes to win, and he's been through the fire. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of these coaches who's never even played it down before, but are good coaches. But Ed, I feel like, is a combination of both. He has patience too, and he likes to teach and give people life lessons throughout their experience of coaching or whatever. So I feel like he would be a great coach. I feel like he's good now. It's just about.
The internet monster got BMAC.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry.
I was about to say somebody called you, didn't they?
Yeah.
You're good. Go ahead and finish about Ed Reed.
No, so I was saying I think he's ready now. It's just all about somebody just providing an opportunity for him to come in. But you guys make sure that your facilities and everything's up to par for the team.
No doubt about it, man. And just to be fair, I'm a huge fan of his, and I hope that he lands.
What's funny is me and him actually, when he had that situation, had spoke, because when it was going on, I felt like I became his secretary, because everybody who knew I was friends with him was reaching out to me trying to get jobs and stuff. Like, can you hear?
Hey man, look, can you help me?
And I'm like, oh gosh, like why all of a sudden I become like the secretary? So that's about that. But then even
you need to put that on your resume, on your Instagram, man. I see everything else up there. You need to put Ed Reed secretary on there now.
But even Michael Orr had reached out to me and said, hey, we should take some time and go up there. And we were going to volunteer time to go out there and work with, his offensive line, Michael Orr and myself, and work with the line on things. And that was just because of a great person and how we wanted to see him succeed. And then Ed even just talked to me about eventually even coming on board to help him with the offensive line. So, and that was after I was telling him, like, me and Michael are willing to come and spend some time.
Shout out to Michael Orr. He's a great guy too.
Yeah, he is.
Big guy. We probably know a lot of people in the same circle. Marcus Ogden.
Well, Michael Orr and I were teammates.
Yeah, down in Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Michael's a good guy. Do you know Marcus Ogden at all?
I don't.
Jonathan's little brother? Okay, all right. Yeah, so I mean, he's from the Baltimore area, and I knew him really well too. And so I figured we probably knew some of the same people in the same circles. Hey, one of the things, just to kind of finish up here on your IG, is you're a Grammy-nominated producer?
3 times.
For what? I did not know this.
Yeah.
Remember, this is Miami sports music. Okay. I need to know, man. What did you do?
So it's a project called The Introduction to Marcus Cooper by Pleasure P. He was in a group called Pretty Ricky. I did his solo album. Yep. So myself and Craig Kalman have credits for being co-executive producers on it.
Well, hey, look, man, this guy named the Honorable Solo D. He's got some hits under his belt. When y'all ready to put my man on the track, he's ready. Okay. He's ready, man. He's ready to go. Look, you got a lot of history and connections down in South Florida. Especially to the music, man. What do you feel like the hip hop scene is right now compared to what it was when Trick Daddy and Trina were kind of in their
right now? It's different because now people can just get on TikTok and make little dances to go with their song, and the song can kind of take off. Where before, I'm gonna say it's a little less talent and more about personality now.
It is, man.
As far as music, where back when Trick and them was more about talent and lyrics and things like that, where now it's a little more like not as much talent, but add a little dance or something to it and it'll take off.
That's all you need. That's all you need is a little bit, a little dance.
TikTok dance attached to it. Everybody's gonna do it.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, Solo and I, when he had the turnover chain song come out, and it was like, man, all you need is that you just need a little dance to it, and you'd be good to go.
Right.
One of the things that I really like is the hip hop culture and the artists down there compared to the sports world, and how they've kind of integrated really well in South Florida. You look at Rick Ross and everything that he's done in the community down there in South Florida. As well as, obviously the former players and the current players of the pro sports teams. Just my last kind of big question for you with that is why is the relationship between the hip hop artists and the former players and current players such a really strong relationship?
Because I don't know if you ever remember, like back in the day on MTV, they had something called Jock Jams.
Yep.
And like all the artists would like be doing something sports related. I feel like each side wants to do what the other person does. Like there's a lot of athletes that want to be artists, and there's a lot of artists that want to be athletes. So it's like it kind of like goes hand in hand a little bit. So I feel like that's why it kind of meshes well. And then you gotta look at it. Majority of your athletes before a game, they're listening to their favorite artists and music and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of the artists they want it, or they played those sports and wanted to make it to that level. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, and also, back in the day, when you went to school and even before, so much the cultures intertwined, especially at the U when you had Luke Skywalker and Slip and Slide Records.
Exactly.
They were like this, man. It's
so
pretty
it's
awesome.
like for like athletes, especially football players, it's like those artists are able to live like such a more of a free lifestyle. It's like, and we kind of like admire it, like, dad, they get to do this, and we know we have to be a little scaled down a little bit, some of us. So you kind of admire those things.
We live in an Instagram world now. Everything can be videotaped now,
Right.
B-Mac. Come on now, So, but you didn't have that back in the day.
No,
like
you didn't have to worry about being recorded 24/7 and people having their own news.
Look at the Ja Morant situation, right? Ja would, I'm a huge Ja Morant fan, and I think that everything that's going on with him right now is a very interesting, and it's because of the phone world that we live in. And if we didn't have that, he would not be in the position that he's in right now.
Right.
Let me tell you, Steven, I went to a Two Live Crew concert in Daytona Beach spring break. I think it was 91 or 92. There were some things done in that concert that we all would have went to jail for.
I'm being quiet. Don't ask me nothing about nothing. All right. Hey, look, man, I would love for you to come back on and talk, obviously more hip hop. We'll bring Solo on. And obviously as the football seasons kind of get into play here with the Dolphins and the Hurricanes, want to see you more. Real quick, what is your prediction this year for the Dolphins? How far can they go?
I think they can make it back to the playoffs.
Even with the schedule that they have in the division that they're in?
Who's really hard? Because I don't look at New England as a threat anymore. I mean, you have Buffalo.
Buffalo and the Jets. You got Aaron Rodgers there in New York. You got Buffalo, who's been dominant for the last.
The Jets still got to just prove. Like, you got Aaron Rodgers, yeah, but I mean, you still got to prove still. Like, I still feel like they could probably make it.
I think they're.
They beat Buffalo last year.
They did.
That's right.
They sure did.
When they had, when they were healthy.
And they should have beat them in December, too. They should have beat them in December.
Exactly.
And they only lost by 3 points in the plaffs game.
And that was an away game for them. So, yeah, I feel like they have the potential to do it. And people have gotten more, a year older under their belt and more experience. So, I feel like they can be up there and be contenders.
Well, look, man, Cameron has got a great tailgate called East 32 Dolphins Tailgate out there outside the stadium, man. We'd love to invite you and your crew to come out and hang out with us in the pregame, man. All you can drink, all you can eat.
It's a good time.
We'll take care of you, man. We'd love to bring you out there. I do the live podcast from out there, but we definitely got to meet up week 1, man. We got to make that happen.
Okay.
All right. Hey, well, I'll stay in touch. Hey, what else do you got coming up? Is there anything you want to promote or tell people about?
No, people can go to my thebrianmckinney.com, and if they want to donate, because I did in April I did a mental health panel at the Hard Rock, and then I'm looking to build and do another one up in October.
I'm big on mental health.
Donations for my B Major Foundation, they can feel free.
Oh, dude, we got to talk about that online because so I have this thing on Friday called Spread Kindness Fridays, and on Spread Kindness Fridays I talk about mental health and I talk about depression and I talk about
So
anxiety and stuff like that. I love talking about that stuff.
So I did a whole panel on it. So yeah, it was actually a good turn. I had a clinical psychologist, a therapist, a surgeon, 2 reality stars, myself, and then Brandon Marshall was supposed to join me. But it was actually the day that we had a big flood down here in April.
Yep.
And his flight got him in like too late. It was like 11 something. But he was supposed to join me as well.
We on Spread Kindness Friday, we get donations for the channel. Maybe we'll do it on a Friday where you come in, you co-host on a Friday with us, and any donation that day we'll send towards your charity that day.
Okay.
And we'll talk about mental health that day. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
All right, man. Look, B-Mac, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, no problem.
You're the man, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Chopping it up with you, B-Mac. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Love that guy. Man. First hour of the show was crazy, cuz. What's up, man?
Man, that was good stuff. Good stuff from Armando. Great stuff from B-Mac there. I mean, I could have talked to that guy for another hour, man.
Dude, and about anything. And that's the best part, man. You can talk about anything with B-Mac. Yeah, he's such a good guy, and I appreciate him coming on, and I'm hoping to have him on more as the season progresses. So shout out to B-Mac. Man.
Hey, so, Steven, just for clarification here for everybody in the chat, it's 10:48, and there's been no Dalvin Cook sighting.
There's been no Dalvin Cook signing yet. We're going to get into that. I want to talk about a couple things before we get back into the Dolphins stuff. One of the things that I want to talk to you about is game 1 of the NBA Finals starts tonight. The Denver Nuggets, the Miami Heat. Let me ask you, what are your thoughts about game 1 tonight in the NBA Finals?
Whew, a lot to unpack there, man. Let's talk about Denver. They're the highest scoring team. They're the probably playing the best team ball outside of Miami. Mm-hmm. For those people out there, in my opinion, who think this isn't going to be a ratings game, who cares? I was talking to Noob on Twitter the other day about this. Obviously the league, probably preferred Boston and LA and could have built that up in a different way. But this NBA Finals, in my opinion, is a testament to team basketball and team basketball prevailing. You don't have a big three. You don't have a marketable superstar, let's say, even though Jokic is the MVP and justifiably so. He's the best player on the planet right now. And let me say that again. Jokic is the best player on the planet, Stephen D. I know you're not listening to me.
He's not, but that's okay.
He most definitely is.
Our Nicholas Jovic is better than their Jokic.
Definitely not. But also, I think.
Sorry.
But also, you see Eric Spoelstra getting his due. People talking about what a wonderful job he's done throughout these playoffs and solidifying his identity as one of the all-time great coaches. But don't sleep on Brendan Malone. Brendan Malone's been to finals. Brendan Malone has been in this league for decades, and he is in the position and has his team in the position because of the same principles that Eric Spoelstra brings to the Miami Heat, Brendan Malone brings to the Denver Nuggets. I think it's going to be a highly entertaining series from a cerebral standpoint in terms of matchups and switches and just punch and counter punch. And then you've got Jimmy Butler, and let's see what he can do.
Excuse me, Himmy Butler.
Himmy, let's see what he can do, man.
Look, here's the kind of way I look at it. To be perfectly honest, the Nuggets are hands down the more talented team on the roster side, right? I'm not denying that. I get that. But the reality of the situation is when Himmy Butler is hot, he's one of the, if not one of the best players in the NBA when he's on fire, when he's on it. Now, the last series, we saw that he was exhausted and that he was tired. That came out in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I thoroughly believe that there were other people that stepped up, Caleb Martin being one of those guys. Caleb Martin did such a phenomenal job in Game 7, and to be honest, the rest and most of the Eastern Conference Finals, where if he can keep that level of playing, Bam obviously needing to step up on the offensive side, not just the defensive side, setting picks, stuff like that. I believe that they can go pound for pound in a heavyweight fight against Denver.
And let me correct myself. It's Michael Malone, not Brendan Malone.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take. So I think at the end of the day that the Heat to win this series is going to happen in 6 or 7 games. It's not going to be they're not going to run through Denver. Denver's going to get some wins. Denver's going to play tough, and they're going to have to earn this championship if they're going to win.
Well, I mean, duh. And you said, the Nuggets are the more talented team. Well, both of these teams are the personification of team, capital TEAM. Like they don't rely on a superstar. They don't rely on one player to carry the weight. Both of these teams play really, really good team ball. Sure, you have Jokic, who's the MVP of the league. But Jamal Murray, man, could be a star on any team in the NBA.
A stud.
And so to correct myself again, Gabriel caught me there. It's Michael Malone, who is Brandon Malone's son, for clarification's sake. But, Spoelstra and this team, the Heat, they've proven that, it's the sum of all your parts equals one great team. And it's going to be I think it's going to be a highly entertaining series.
If Miami comes out, can Miami win Game 1 tonight? Let's just
100%.
Yeah,
listen,
I agree.
Miami Heat have won so many games on the road during this playoff. Denver's no different. They're prepared to go in there and win. And jump ball at 0-0. What happens after that is on the team.
Now, Denver swept the Lakers in 4 games, and the Heat are coming off 7 games in the Eastern Conference Final. Is that going to play an effect into the series because they played 7 and Denver played 4?
It depends on how much rust, the Nuggets have to, shake off. I think that's the thing. They haven't played in a game for 2 weeks. I think, the Heat are in rhythm. I think that plays to their advantage. They're not injured. And they could potentially get Tyler Hero back for Game 3.
Gabriel Sosa even brings up elevation. Elevation in Denver's no joke. I've been up there. I mean, just going up there definitely messes with your everything. So I think that'll play an effect in the third and fourth quarter with these guys too.
I think what that means for the Heat is that you'll see
a lot more rotation.
Rotations come a little sooner, but listen, these guys all
Kevin Love's going to have to play big too this series. I know he didn't last series, but the first 2 series he played a major role. I think he's set up to be a decent role here in this series. And I'll even do one better. I think some of the guys you haven't seen a lot in this series could get some playing time because of the elevation, because of having to rotate certain people out and what you're going to need.
Well, regardless of where they're playing, you're going to see that anyway. You're going to see more Kevin Love. You're going to see more Cody Zeller. You might even see more of the third string Heat center, Yurtsvin. At least, get maybe, 5 to 8 minutes a game just to put a body on Jokic. Yep. They're going to follow the crap out of him. They're going to play a physical style with him.
Spolstra, here's my thought. If the Heat win this series, which they obviously can, it'll be a big in part reason because of the game plan that Spolstra will have set for this Denver Nuggets team and how to play them. And I think I already think he's a Hall of Famer, but if Spolstra wins with this team against the Nuggets, I mean, I think he's first ballot Hall of Fame head coach.
He's a first ballot Hall of Fame coach anyway.
Yeah,
regardless.
Yeah, I mean, regardless.
Spolstra has solidified himself as an all-time great coach. Period.
7 finals since 2006. 7 finals.
Isn't it 3 of the past 4 or 2 of the past 4 or something like that?
Yeah, it's unreal what he's done. It's absolutely
6 of the
unreal.
past 13 they've been in the Eastern Conference.
And side note, I would love to see my boy Udonis Haslem go out with a victory.
I was going to ask you this, man. Like, so what's the over/under Udonis Haslem seeing court time?
Oh, he's gonna play. He's going to play. Now, will it be
whether it's in a
1 or
blowout
2 minutes in this series? I don't know, but he's gonna see the court.
But you got to throw him out there, right?
You do, and to be fair, you might even see him play in a couple of crucial minutes here, right? Like this is it for him. This is the last potential 7 games of his career. He's been on this squad because he can give you 3 minutes of really good basketball. And so I think that at the end of the day, if we get into a situation in the third quarter and they're on a run or vice versa, and you need somebody to come in there, why not put in Udonis Haslem for three or 4 minutes and let him go up against some of these guys and make some hard fouls and just get that. I mean, imagine if Udonis Haslem does anything that pumps his team up. I mean, it's going to be crazy because everybody on the bench is going to be rooting for him.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, man. He's going to get some run, whether it's the tail end of a blowout loss or a blowout win. He'll be on the floor at some point during the season.
Yeah,
during the series.
Yep, and this will be it for him. This is the last run. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We just talked about NBA Finals Game 1, which goes tonight. All those series will be on ABC and ESPN. So unfortunately, I have to listen to Jeff Van Gundy. I'm so disappointed in that because I can't stand him. That's the worst part about watching ESPN or ABC is Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson. I can't stand those 2 guys. I like Mike Breen, but I cannot listen to those 2 guys. I wish the NBA TNT had the finals, man. Oh, God, I wish they had the finals because I could listen to Reggie Miller all day. Anyways, yeah, so that's going on tonight. Saturday is game 1 of the NHL finals, if I'm correct, right? And that'll be good too. And it's going to be awesome, man. I'm so excited. The next 20 days, Cameron, NHL finals, NBA finals, almost every single night.
Dude, it's absolutely bananas. I should put this up on the screen because, I think we have 2 nights off over the next 2 weeks from a game.
Where?
Between the Panthers and the Heat,
Yeah. Are you going to go to any? Are you going to try to go to anything?
I'm looking at it,
crazy. By the way, if you guys want tickets and you guys want to go to any event, hit up Lime, Less is More Events. Get your tickets through them, 202-930-3533. Check out Lime. See if they can help you out.
Interesting. Uppers, I think were like over $700 for the Heat and $600 for the Panthers right now. So I'll probably wait the game day and see if they come down.
I want to go. I've half tempted talk to Solo and been like, maybe I should fly down. Maybe I should go to a game. I would love to. It's on the bucket list, and there's never been a better time to do it. I'll tell you, if the Heat or the Panthers are in a clinching situation in Miami, I will definitely consider going. Flying down for it.
Better start raising some money on the show, bro.
No doubt. Hey, speaking of, there's been no donations today. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Let's go.
Stephen D's going to be out front of the AAA, with a paper cup.
We'll
donate for tickets.
We'll podcast for food. We'll podcast for tickets. Let's go.
Donate for nosebleeds.
Hey man, Shannon Sharp leaving Undisputed. Did you see that?
Thank God, because listen, I think he's leaving because I think he was straight up going to punch Skip right in the nose. I don't think
they like each other at all.
Like he's going to do his thing. He's got his
alienated 2 major co-hosts, and Stephen A. and him now. Not that Stephen A. hasn't alienated people, but it's still, crazy. Noob with his $5 donation says Nuggets in 3.
Yeah, Noob.
Because they're going to forfeit the last game, he said.
Oh.
Shout out to the $5 donation. Thank you. All right, man. It's June 1st. Let's talk about it, man.
4 p.m. 4 p.m. today. What's going to happen?
So here's the potential things that could happen after 4 p.m. today. Number one, Dalvin Cook, right? And Dalvin Cook, trainer Nick Hicks was on Reason's show yesterday. Shout out to that. That was a great show. If you missed it, go check it out. But he's saying, look, he's willing to take a pay cut to come here. We had Zach Hiller, his agent, come on our show in the last several weeks, and we know that it's a thing, and that he wants to come here, and that the Dolphins want him. Can they make it work? And I think it's going to be up to, will Minnesota release him, and can Miami and him get to a number that both can be happy with to bring him in the door? And if they can get a number here, great. There's also been discussions, and it's starting to pick up more steam about potentially DeAndre Hopkins, because DeAndre Hopkins, that I don't think that's going to happen in any way, shape, or form. But I have to admit, in the last 24 hours, there's been a little bit more smoke to this conversation. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I want it to happen? I don't care. But if you were to bring in a DeAndre Hopkins with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, OMG. That's all I know.
Why OMG? What does DeAndre Hopkins bring?
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
I'm asking you a question.
He would play the number 3. He'd fill in the slot. Braxton Berrios would go to straight return man pretty much only. Chosen Anderson would become the number 4. You get rid of Cedric Wilson, and God forbid anybody does go down with an injury, you still have it's not going to matter, because you have the best 1-2-3 wide receiving combo maybe in the history of the NFL.
Let me tell you something. DeAndre Hopkins wouldn't supplant Chosen Anderson as the number 3 or Berrios as the number 4. And here's why. Think about Mike McDaniel's offense and what it's predicated on: speed and release, right? Release off the line, speed. That's two things DeAndre Hopkins doesn't do better than Tyreek, Waddle, or Chosen Anderson. Period.
Robbie Chosen. It's not Chosen Anderson anymore. It's Robbie Chosen.
Whatever it is.
Chosen is his last name. Just want you to be real.
Whatever.
Look,
he, she, him, it don't matter as long as he catches a pass in the end zone.
That's it. That's all we want. Here's what I say. I don't think it's going to happen, nor do I care if it happens. Okay, let me just throw that out there. But I'm starting to hear a lot more chatter about this.
Man, the only thing you're hearing is inside your brain, man. It's listen, because Hopkins. So here's the legitimacy of this. Hopkins was already told no by a couple teams, right? Like his agents have reached out to a couple teams and they said, we'll pass. Do we know who those two teams are? No, but obviously, just like any other free agent available under the sun, the Miami Dolphins fan base thinks they're coming to come to Miami.
I mean, we attach our name to almost anybody who's available. So I'll get there. I'll hear you on that. Now, here's the other thing. You're not hearing it from anyone paid to talk football. Yes, I am. We are 100% doing that. Hey, real quick, time out. Stop the presses. It is June the 1st. And you know what that means? It means that my brother from another mother, ladies and gentlemen, the birthday man himself, the Honorable Solo D. What up, baby?
Y'all see that spin? Hold on, let me do it again.
I can't with you, bro.
What's up, Pimpin'?
What up, baby?
Happy birthday, Solo.
Man, I'm just dressed in this finals gear, mismatching and everything. You know what I'm saying?
You got the Florida Panthers.
We doing the
Miami
old school
Heat,
Florida Panthers.
Miami, Wade County.
They like, Solo, why you missed me? I was gonna put the jacket on, but I ain't doing all that. Man, what's going on, man? How y'all feeling?
What's up, baby? We had Bryant McKinnie on earlier. You missed him. We were talking some hip hop.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a hangover. Okay.
Hey.
I was out late.
Hey.
I did see the text, but I couldn't even open my eyes all the way. I don't know how the hell y'all got up this early. Y'all was supposed to be
Solo. Welcome to 50 years old, bro.
Goddamn, let me tell you something, man. It hurts, man. My knees hurt. My back hurts. Hey, it feels like
my knees, my back.
Trucker Sean's wife's birthday is today, too. Shout out to Trucker Sean's wife.
Shout out Trucker Sean, man. I already like that name, man. Dope ass name, actually.
So what's
hey, man,
up,
listen,
man.
man. Listen.
We haven't talked to you in a minute. What's been good?
Let me see. Should I lie? Tell the truth.
Definitely lie. It's your birthday. You can do whatever you want.
You can do it. What are your plans? What are your plans for today?
Nah, everything is good, bro. You know, like it's like I kind of share my birthday. You know, my wife's birthday was 2 days ago, May 30th. So
shout out to the Mr. Solo D.
Yeah, man. So we go back to back with this. We got one day in between. So I just got back from Key West. We went to Key West.
I guess the real question is, Solo. Like, are we going to Doral tonight? Where are we vibing together?
Party at tonight? People want to know.
You know what? And that's what's so crazy. That's what everybody keep asking. I swear I'm gonna know in like an hour, and as soon as I know, y'all will know for sure.
And you know what, Steven? Neither one of us are gonna get the call.
I know.
Don't say it. Cam, you definitely getting it, man. You down here, Steve?
Why?
Gonna be like aggravating.
I'll fly down. I'll fly down.
You coming real quick? You gonna get a jet?
I'll get the G7 and I'll fly down.
Now, if you want to get the G7, then hell yeah, you know, tell them to
Hey,
get ready.
how old are you turning today?
Man, 22, man. It's crazy.
22.
Been a long 22. Hey, listen, it's been a
52.
long 22 years.
Remember, whatever you say, people are going to donate that amount.
He meant 22 times
to the channel, whatever, however.
I mean, like now that I'm a senior citizen and I just hit 55, it's like
$55 donations. Let's go.
Just, you know, they're hard, but nah,
donate
man, I'm 36,
to the channel
36,
for Solo's birthday.
36, man. And you know, when you're young, that feels old. You know, but it is what it is. We only go up from here. It's a blessing to see it, man. It's a lot of people
God
get to see
damn, I'm 19 years older than you. God damn.
And I'm 34.
Are you for real? How old are you, Ken?
Yeah.
How old are you?
55.
He's 55?
Yeah. You know how
y'all
they
would have
say,
never put that on
hey,
you, bro.
You know how they say black don't crack? Well, Cameron don't crack neither.
You're supposed to say white is
right.
White is right.
You got to come with something slick, man. Hey, no BS. I want to cuss, but no bullshit. No, Cam, you look good, but not at 55 is super old, but I wouldn't have put that on you, bro.
Oh, it is, though. It really is.
It is a little bit, bro. So hold on. So you can get discounts at you get discounts at the restaurants and all that.
He does.
Oh, hell yeah, man. The early bird special and all that good stuff.
MCJB with his $2 donation said, "Happy birthday, you old fart."
Hey, let me tell you something, MCJB. His ass kind of young. His birthday was like a week ago or something. I think he was like 23 or something. Don't call me old, goddammit. I was 23 last week. All right?
He asked me to come to his birthday. I said, what do you mean? You need me to come pick you up?
Hey, this man was like really trying to play me in basketball. I can't believe this, bro. Next time you come down here, I'm going to really have to see you. We're going to shut it down. Because he was like really confident. I thought he was playing at first.
He said, "Happy birthday, bro. For you, I'm giving an old ass beat down in basketball. Meet me in Fort Myers. Let's go."
Yeah, right.
Fort Myers.
Yeah, right, man. Bro, I ain't never that old. Bro. I don't know what I don't know what he think he's going to do. He's going to shoot. I know he'll think he's going in the lane. I don't know what his game plan is, but I'm slapping anything down.
So let's talk some sports real quick, man. We got two teams in the championship, man. We got the Heat in the finals and the Panthers in the Stanley Cup finals. Let's start out with hockey, and then we'll talk basketball. Let's start out with hockey, man. You've gone to a couple games this postseason. What's the atmosphere been like?
So, man, honestly, the atmosphere is always crazy. Every hockey game I've been to, man. But of course, playoffs is way more intense, man. But let me say this real quick. Because, you know, I'm big, like, when it comes to football and basketball and calling out, like, bandwagon fan. I am definitely a bandwagon fan, but not a this year bandwagon fan. That's the one thing I don't want to get twisted, right? I don't want people to think I came around this year. I just started.
You were on the bandwagon 3 years ago when they started doing real good.
The first game I went to was 2017. I want to get that straight. All right, now, anytime before 2017, I didn't even watch hockey highlights on ESPN, so I don't want to perpetrate now that everything is going sweet and be like, oh, I've been waiting since the 90s. I'm not going to perpetrate because I don't like when people do that. You know what I'm saying? But I have been riding with the Panthers since 2017. And even since 2017, I'm not going to tell you I watched every game. But over the last year, I've been catching a lot of games. You know what I mean? Because I didn't understand hockey. Now that I actually understand hockey, I understand the rules, I understand the penalties, I didn't understand.
Is that my nephew in the background?
That's a little deep. So what's up, man?
What up, nephew?
He got the blanket on and ain't even
Hey,
cold.
hi, Uncle Steve.
So
You didn't say, what's up, buddy?
listen, so like I said, I said all that to say, now I understand hockey a lot better. So now I feel like I'm able and qualified to talk a little bit of shit. And we gonna whoop Vegas ass. It's going down like that. Because defense wins championships, man. And it's like this. The Panthers defense is awesome to me, bro. Like, these last-minute buckets, the last-minute goals that go in, those are beautiful. But you got to understand, man, this goalie, like this whole team as a whole, that defense is immaculate. You know what I mean? Like, to have to go to those overtimes, and I stayed up that day, too. That's the other thing that made me certified. Nobody better than that ever pull my card. Because that 3 or 4 overtime game, we were outside the whole time. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we still outside. So if I wasn't a fan before, that's the day I got certified. And nobody can question me no more. I kept ordering drinks.
You were at a pool party the other night watching the game.
Yeah, that was a vibe, man. That was so like I didn't even expect that, man. But that worked out perfect.
If y'all want to be thoroughly entertained, go watch Miami Sports Music's IG during games, and they're pretty good because Solo tends to talk a little bit of trash, and
from a hot tub, no less. From a hot tub.
It was funny, bro. I was cracking up. I was definitely.
Hey, it was fun, man. And I had people. Let me straighten one thing real quick. I had people in my. Because I post early. Like I saw when we were up 10 at the half. I said it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So I was talking SHIT right there, and somebody got in my. Damn, Solo, you always talking, man. If we lose, it's gonna be because of you. I said, listen, if I had that kind of power, I'd have hit the lotto. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to get one thing straight right now, man. I'm here to talk SHIT. I can't play on the court. I can't play on the field. I wish I could, but as fans, I don't know what y'all are here for, but this division of Miami Sports Music, DWA, CWA, we talk shit. You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand. Like, we're making this a fun atmosphere. We're not game-banging sports teams. We're not starting fights, none of that, but it's fun. So everybody with tough skin and has a sense of humor is gonna have fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're here for. Like, I don't understand what y'all think this is, especially when it comes to football. Like, we're not just gonna sit down and clap. Oh, good play. The hell y'all think going on? We getting wild. We want to be on that field.
Somebody called Solo.
Extreme sports fans over here, and we're very passionate about our team. So don't come checking me about, oh, you need to be quiet. Like, how was me being quiet gonna make the Miami Heat win? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand putting on a jersey or wearing a certain hat, you're superstitious and all that, but y'all want me to be quiet while we're dominating the team in Game 7 that just cheated us the game before?
Level 2 noob said Solo hasn't heard the Panthers forfeited something about losing anyway.
Okay. I guess that's an inside joke or something.
No, he's trying to get under your skin. He's trying to get to you.
No, I don't see it happening. Like, I looked at Vegas. I got to watch that game the other day. I just left Vegas and I got sick again, by the way. Las Vegas, let me tell you something. I don't know if I like y'all no more as a city.
Every time you go there, you get sick.
Well, they put the hurting on you last time you were there. That's why.
Yeah, big hurting. Yeah, last time, 2020, I got COVID. But then I went out there last week because my niece lives out there. She graduated high school. Shout out, Jalen. And I went out there last week, and I didn't get COVID, but I got some kind of virus, man. It was bad, man. I was down.
Every time you go to Vegas, you get sick. So the point of this,
and I wasn't even outside. Like, I was doing family
go
stuff.
to Vegas.
Not even like I went to the casinos and all that, bro. But like, yeah. So for that alone, we're gonna whoop Vegas ass in hockey. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we need some get back, man. I definitely think it's the Panthers' year. I also, of course, think it's the Heat's year. None of it's gonna be easy. You know what I mean? Both of these series could go 7 for all I care, but we're winning them. You know what I'm saying?
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We got the Honorable Solo D, his birthday, hanging out with us. He's accepting all donations for his birthday. He's turned 55, he said, so $55 donations. Okay, maybe that's his old Cameron is. Never mind. But yes, anyways, we taking donations for his birthday. Shot. Dude, are you going to go to the Heat finals, man? What do you think they're going to do against them?
I might have to sneak in that bitch, bro. They tripping with the prices, bro.
Big tripping. I'm gonna have to wear my parking attendant, uniform and get him and shit.
Hey, no, I'm not gonna lie. I have to go to a game. I do.
Have you ever been to an
I
NBA Finals game?
No,
I
just remember I was looking at DC when we went last time.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to make. I missed that whole era, man. Of the finals. From 2000.
You never saw LeBron in the finals in Miami.
No, not in person. Nope. So
Yeah, how about you, Steven? Such a LeBron fan.
You know, it's so real talk. So here's the funny part about all this, right? I've been to multiple sporting events in my life and done some really cool stuff. Been to all-star games, been to home run derbies, been to playoff games, but I have never seen LeBron James at all. And so when I heard he was considering retirement, I was hurt. Like it hurt. Because I gotta see him. So next year, I'm going to see him. I don't care where he's at. I'm going to see him next year.
But any game, if he actually is talking about retiring and that's his final year, I don't care if who's the worst team. Because I was gonna say the Kings, but they're not bad anymore. Whoever the worst team is, Charlotte. You're paying $400 for the nosebleeds. $400. LeBron really announces his retirement wherever the Lakers go. Like it's a wrap. Believe that. Now I've seen LeBron play. I have been to games where he played, and LeBron had in
Miami.
And like I was on stage with him. He cool as hell. But you know me, I'm a D Wade fan. A little more. That meant a little more to me. But big shout out to LeBron. But yeah, man. Like, listen.
Solo always gets on me for rooting for LeBron, though. So does Cameron. So don't feel bad.
Because I got a problem with that. It's not like I root for him. I don't hate on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for whatever he does as a man and all that. It's not when he's beating my team, especially in the finals 2 years ago. They owe me. But like, I salute him. But I'm not going putting on no jersey and saying I'm a Lakers fan because he's at the Lakers.
I'm not a Lakers fan. I root for LeBron.
No, we don't play like that, bro. We're not even gonna get into that today. It's a birthday. We're gonna have a good time. But I told you that we don't do no two teams, bro. That's too easy. Oh, it's all good. The Lakers lost. Let me go watch the Heat now. I'm gonna let you slide this time, Steve, because it's Miami Sports Music, dog. But you weren't with us shooting in the gym, bro.
You weren't with me shooting in the gym?
You weren't with us shooting in the gym, bro. Like we almost had we were the AC, bro. You're literally looking at the AC. We almost didn't make the playoffs.
What you guys had to play in the second, the Heat had to play in the second play-in game in order to get in. They had lost the first play-in game.
That's the dogs, man. That's the Heat code, man. And I'm glad people put some respect on Spoelstra's name. I got in so many arguments with him. Sometimes I don't like his rotations. I'll be real, but hey, he knows what he's doing. Like me personally, I would play Duncan a little more. But Spo's a genius, man. So
Duncan Robinson has done pretty well this postseason.
Let me tell y'all something a lot of people not talking about. Duncan Robinson has stepped up on his defense, bro. His defense is getting better. I'm not saying he's an all-star in defense now, but you can tell he's working on it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, who did he block? He blocked somebody's shot the other day. Either Jaylen Brown, Tatum, somebody. He blocked one of their shots, bro. Like, Duncan is my dog, bro. Like, I love to see him shine. I know he missed those shots the other day, man, but I think that was too much pressure, bro. He was too open. He was too open. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like I really, he bounced the ball. He didn't even have to bounce. He got nervous, man. But Duncan is my dog. I wish he got a little more minutes, but I love this team, man. Like, I love what it represents, too, man. Like, when you talking about the city of Miami, bro, this is underdog season. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these people, everybody like to holler,
Kurt says at $18 million a year, he needs to do more.
But Kurt, this is the problem. I think Spo was sitting him down. Like, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but I think he wanted to go in. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just
Oleg says Spo does not want to play Duncan because he has no decent. He only gets in game to shoot shots and draw fouls. You mean
fouls? But listen, the thing is, that was true to an extent, but I think he worked on it. I think he worked on his game. You notice he's going in the lane a lot more. Him and Bam play raw together. You know, I wouldn't start Duncan, but I'll just get him in the rotation a little more. That's all. I don't think he should be starting.
You just got to play him at certain times of the
year. Yeah.
But my question, Solo, how do you play Joker in this series? Who do you put on Joker?
Put everybody on him, bro. Everybody has to play him. Literally, the whole game plan. I mean, then Murray's crazy too, though. This series is not gonna be easy. I'm still gonna talk shit, but it's not gonna be easy. They got a crazy team. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. They got a crazy team, I've been telling people this. I'm like, if they win, they gonna have deserved it. Solo D, when are you dropping some new music, bro? Hey man, we got Go Cats Go. I just shot a video last night, so we're gonna drop that Saturday morning. The Heat. I've been trying to do a video, but I still haven't done a video.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's been talking about for 3 years.
Damn, he's gonna put me on the spot right now.
3 years. Hey man, I
On
got
the
you
spot
a
right now.
CLOCKBLOCKERS theme song.
Dang.
3 years, no song.
Can I tell y'all what
No,
happened? 'Cause
time
I
out.
feel like we
I
all
tell
family.
people this for 2 reasons. Number one, everybody asks, hey, get Solo to do me a song. Guys, I can't get Solo D, who is my brother, to do me a song.
Listen,
What you think I'm gonna
Can
get
I
him
be
to do
honest with
you a
y'all?
song for?
Can I be honest? Can we have a opening moment right now?
A heart to heart.
A heart to heart. Let me tell you what happened. I don't know if there's any
This
artists
is
in
a
the chat
15
room. I know
millionth
SCJB.
excuse. I don't even believe you.
It's not
anymore.
even an excuse. You look, you put me on the spot. Let me tell the people. You understand? I had an idea, a concept. This is how music comes. It has to come natural, bro. You can't just force music. If you do, it's gonna be garbage, right? So when you catch a momentum shift, like after I get off this, I'm about to make a heat song. But when you catch a vibe of a song, you got to move on it right there. That's why I got a studio in my house. You know what I mean? I don't put the stuff out from the studio, but it's like equivalent to having a notebook. Back in the days, you wrote in a notebook, but I got a studio in the house. I can record it right there, so I can say it how I want to say it, and then take it to the studio, right? So, like 2 years ago, I had the idea, and it was this crazy ass idea. It was so catchy for CLOCKBLOCKERS, right? But I didn't go record it right there on the scene. And in my head, I know it was the craziest idea in the world, but it hasn't come back to me yet. And I don't want to force this. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to force it. It has to be natural. But now that you put me on the spot, let's put a 30-day clock on it, bro. Let's put a 30-day clock.
I'm putting the clock on. I'll believe it when I see it.
Let's say, nah, because you put me on
You
the spot.
want me to put a clock on it so at day 31, I can be like, hey, bro, what's up, my guy? Where's my song?
Listen.
Oh, look, man, you see what had happened was.
Let's say this. Training camp's coming up. You're going to have one before that. It's going to be an anthem, for sure. It's going to be an anthem. I can't give you no BS, Steven. I can't play with you, bro. You want me to force it.
Hey, man.
All right?
Man, so if you don't cook something and give Steven a song. Hey, you know, Afterlife, I've been trying Solo. I've been trying to call you for a couple of days now, and you keep on. I'm gonna call you back. Never call me back. One of the things I wanted to talk about was this. Your new hit song needs to be called Himmy Butler.
You know what's crazy? I got a beat from Breezy like 2 weeks ago for that, but that's gonna be after the finals. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't doing it before that. We gotta win. I already had a concept.
You gotta get it. You gotta hit me song now, man. If he wins the MVP of the NBA Finals, you have to release.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Let me say one more thing. And Cam, tell me, this is one thing I realized, right? D Wade was like my last, what you would call like a hero, right? As a basketball player. And then now I got older. So D Wade, I was 15, and then so like I grew up now. You know, so I'm 36 today, right? So I'm like, hey, you know, any of these cats that come in the NBA gonna be super young, like way younger than me. So I'm like, I don't know if I can like look up to y'all. Like, what the hell I look like? You know what I mean? I can like salute you as a great player, but it's not the same as like when you were a kid and you like look up to these players. You know what I'm saying? So I said all that to say, Jimmy Butler's growing on me a lot, dog. Like, I really like Jimmy Butler, bro. Like, for real, man. Like, I like what he represents, man. He represents like that dog. He represents that underdog. Like, he's really going at it in the definition of a leader, bro. Like, he needs a lot of credit and a lot of these players stepping up the way they are. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
hey, MCJB says, here's some of my birthday money. You don't give my man Stephen D a damn theme song. I'm gonna need this back.
I'm not even getting that. All that money going to Steve.
Lies? Lies?
Hey, but listen. I do want to do a Jimmy song because I actually like him. Like, I don't. That's the thing. It sounds weird because I know I make a bunch of songs, bro. But if I don't feel it, I don't do it, bro. Like, I can't just be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be like a dog. Like, when I made that Jarvis Landry song, I was really like a Jarvis Landry fan. You know what I mean? Like,
Jarvis was that guy.
Yeah, like he was going crazy on the field. And Tua was part hype. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It was part hype because he hadn't played yet. But I knew I liked his spirit. I knew I liked his highlights and all that.
Bon Joe says, the Solo D, be careful, bro. You don't want to sign up for random L's out here playing Playboy effing around with Stephen D, SKPL.
I don't never want to.
Stop hating, Bon Joe. Stop hating.
Well, with the song, we're doing a song for you?
I don't know. Maybe. So you don't want to sign up
man,
for random.
My dog winning. He getting up every morning. He got this show going. This show can't go nowhere. It deserves it. It deserves it, man. Clock blocker.
Doing big things, man. And we're doing big tailgates this year too, out in DC, Philly, and Baltimore. We're gonna be doing. We said we're doing big tailgates out in Philly, DC, and Baltimore, and meet and greets and everything.
Yeah, man. And we're not gonna get in no fights in Philly, man. R.I.P. to Jay. I was supposed to go back in 2016. I didn't make it, but he was like, "No, we gotta go. We keep hearing all these." Jay was kind of violent. Now, y'all know I'm not violent, but I be wanting to see what people are talking about as well. And so I was hearing those stories about Philly. So I am excited and looking forward to going. But we're going in 100% peace, and we're gonna have fun, man. And we're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be
our tailgate is literally 1 block from the stadium. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I didn't realize that Baltimore was on New Year's. You kind of charmed me with that one.
We're gonna do a New Year's Eve party. We found out.
Yeah, that's kind of.
We're getting everything set up for it.
That's kind of wild. I'm a whole family man out here. But
what you saying? What you saying,
man,
Solo?
bro? That's pressure. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, like I have a newborn baby on the way, bro.
I mean, agreeing to do a song and not coming through in 30 days. That's just a random L. If you agree, you got to keep your face clean and come through. Tell them.
Oh yeah. Look, that's why I did it, to be real. Like I was trying to be careful, but that's why I said let me put the pressure on saying it live on here, because I told him this on the phone, but then it's like, all right, cool. I really. All
right. You have, sir. There's 30 days in this month.
Can we do this for the culture? Can we do this for the culture?
You, sir, have till July 1st to give me a song. And if I don't get a song by July 1st, I'm telling everybody to get on you with social media. I'm gonna call you out.
Can we do this for the culture? Can we do this for the culture? Can we just say by training camp?
No.
Can we say by training camp?
And now you're saying training camp?
All right, 30 days. I got you. We got the month of June.
This is why I didn't even want to do this.
Nah, I got you. I like it. And I like how Von Joe's adding to it, the pressure. MCJB, tell him he ain't never getting that money back.
Gabriel says, make a song for LeBroom and let people play the intro. I hate you guys.
Hey, let me say something, bro. Like I said, I'm not one of these people that hate LeBron, bro. I'm a fan, dog. But I love when people do stuff like that with his name, bro. It's like the funniest shit in the world when they take the love and put something else behind it, bro. It's like it's endless, bro. Like I see it on social media all the time. I don't even know how people come up with this stuff, man. But man, it's funny, man.
Are you going to the Mud and Beach Bash over at Alley Southwest thing?
Oh, when is it?
June 10th, June 9th.
Maybe. Cam going? You going?
Cam, are you going? June 9th.
Only if Solo gives me a call.
Well, that ain't happening. No.
Nah, that can't happen. Nah, because if I know he's going, that might work. I said I wanted to go. I know I was supposed to go last year. So, what do you mean mud though?
So they're the Sanibel Causeway got messed up in the last hurricane. They found a place at Lazy Springs Recreation Park in Felda, Florida, and so they're doing a 2-day event and there's camping overnight. So
oh no, I ain't doing all that. I thought
you don't have to camp. You don't have to camp, but you can go hang out one of those 2 days.
Okay.
But they're gonna have ATVs. They're gonna have fishing.
Oh,
kayaking,
that's gonna be hard. Okay,
sports.
so all right, that might be.
They're gonna have a watch party for the Panthers that Saturday night. It's gonna be dope.
The series will be going for sure then? How y'all know we're on Sweet Vegas? Is that still in the 4 games?
Game 4, if I'm correct.
Okay. Yeah, don't be surprised. I like when you just sweep the Canes.
I don't think we're sweeping Vegas. I want to, but I don't think.
Nah, Vegas look good. I mean, from what I see, like
CB83 said, "Let me jump on the track, man. Let's get it. I need to kill the Wolfpack on a verse." For those you don't know what the Wolfpack is, but the Wolfpack is a group of fans that are very critical of the Dolphins, and yeah.
That's a
Stephen D. I gotta run.
Yeah, I gotta run too. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey,
you both Solo stay on.
No, I was literally it's 11:30. I ain't gonna play. Like I really had to roll, bro. Like I was checking it.
You suck, man. You both.
I didn't mean to say it right there.
I knew Cameron had to go.
Blame him.
Hey, just so y'all know, well, I'm gonna bring on some people. They can get on with me for the last 30. But Cameron, next Thursday, Ryan Ripken, Cal Ripken's son, good friend of mine. He's going to come on. We're going to talk baseball on next Thursday. Cal Ripken's son, Ryan
Ripken. Speaking of baseball, the Marlins have a 1:00 game today. Could take the series.
Hey, Marlins doing decent too, right?
Yeah, they are.
They're real decent. They're in the second wild card spot right now.
Yes, sir. Hey, y'all better stop playing with South Florida, man. You understand?
I'm telling you.
Y'all better stop playing because y'all know what's going to happen when Dolphin season come up, man.
Yes, sir.
Season. I don't care who in here. Y'all still know what time it is. We're throwing you up forever. Don't
ever bring
up
appetizer solo. Appetizer solo. What happens going to be in February?
Let me just say one thing.
Solo, what are we going to be like when there's a parade? When there's a parade for the Dolphins, what is it going to be like in South Florida?
So Solo's going to be up. Solo's going to be on the front of that boat like it was the Titanic, the movie.
They're going to have to arrest me that day. I'm telling you. I'm getting on that boat, bro. Bro. If I don't have an invite, then we're going old school, bro.
You got to perform on a float when the Dolphins win.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to try to be right.
No. We're going to put together a Miami sports music float.
I'm telling you, we're going to be right next to him in every shot.
Yes.
right on the side. Let me get up out my face, man.
Man, we're just going
to Hey, I bet we could probably get that done if they win. That would be dope.
Don't say if, bro. This is the year. This is it. This is the year for all this, bro. Like, come on, man. You want to? I know it's all
get out of here. Michael Jordan is horrible. LeBron James rules.
Solo. Serious tip. If you're gonna go south today, give me a call.
I got you.
All right.
I love you guys. Be good.
I didn't quite catch that.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He left. Cameron, get out of here.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hang out with y'all for a little bit longer. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Y'all get up here, hang out with me. I'll do a mini version. I'll do a mini panel this morning. Y'all can hang out with me. Pin message. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. I got y'all for at least another 30, maybe another hour, depending on what. Actually, I got to go pick up my car from the auto place. Was not looking forward to paying that, but had to get it fixed. Anyways, get up here. Where y'all at? Donate to the channel. Solo's birthday. Turned 55 years old. Donate. Rashad. What's up, Rashad?
Happening, brother. Long time, no nothing. How you been?
No nothing. What's up, man?
Surviving. I've been here all morning waiting for some Miami Dolphin talk. Every time you got to June 1st, you got cut off.
I know, right? We did. Solo came up. My bad, dude. My bad.
It's all good. I mean, hey, I'm just happy you're back, man.
Had Armando on talking about Panthers hockey, talked Miami Heat, talked with Bryant McKinney.
I got here with Brian McKinney. I got here when he was here.
Brian McKinney was dope. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. What you been up to, man? Are you ready for tonight? You ready for game one?
What? Ain't nobody watching that stuff.
Don't hate. Don't hate, man. All right, what's happening at 4:00? Dolphins getting Dalvin?
I doubt it, but I'll be here to rub it in to everybody who's telling me Dalvin's coming. And if he does come, I will flip-flop. I'll be the happiest Dalvin Cook fan in the fan base.
But you don't think it's happening?
No, I highly doubt it. He's not gonna take the pay cut that we're trying to give him. No, I don't see that happening at all.
Miami Sports Music guys, get up here. I'm opening up. I'm doing a mini panel. Get up here. Link is pinned to the top of the chat.
I mean, a lot of people don't like my Dalvin Cook take. Somebody out there got to come up. Everybody believes he's coming. I'm actually hoping.
So here's what I think. I think that if Minnesota releases him, which I fully expect that they will, that's going to be a crazy team. Dalvin Cook with Tyreek and Jalen and Tua.
It's too much firepower.
I mean, you even if you're an optimist of the Dolphins, you're like, almost anybody should win with this squad. And if you don't, that's sad.
I got confidence in Skyler if he has to come in, and that's our lineup. That's how major signing Dalvin Cook would be for us.
Yeah, well, I
But
mean, I think it would help tremendously.
yeah, 100%. But
For those of you refreshing Twitter every minute to see if the Dolphins are signing or trading for Dalvin, the $13.6 million in cap space doesn't officially become available till 4 p.m.
see, my thing is, I think the Vikings would have announced if they were going to cut him by now.
William, turn down your radio.
I didn't even know it was up that loud. Hold on a second.
What's up, buddy?
Are you better now? What you up to, Steven?
How are you, buddy?
Good. We missed your face out here.
I'm here, my guy. I'm here. Where else do you want me?
Well, you was gone for a week, and then we had to listen to Big O get a colonoscopy. So, we don't appreciate the way you take the days off and scare everybody like that. We thought you was on suicide watch.
Nah, man. Look, real talk. I just needed to recharge my batteries and needed.
Hey, everybody has to, Steven. You look fantastic, though. How's the family?
Family's good. My daughter's next to last baseball game. We played on Tuesday. The last baseball game's on Saturday, but tonight we have like the last practice, and it's gonna be we're doing Sandlot style, parents and siblings and the kids on the team. We're playing a 4-inning game, and I'm about to whoop some 6, 7, and 8-year-olds in some baseball tonight.
So you're gonna be Kramer. You're gonna be Kramer that time you did karate.
Against the kids
karate. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be affiliated with Kramer. I mean, he has a lot of other things that happen with them that just saying.
He said some words.
He said some things.
Hey, Jesse made All-Stars for the 4th year in a row playing baseball or softball this year. Yeah, so she's getting ready for her All-Stars, whatever the All-Stars stuff. So we got softball games coming and everything like that.
No, but Savannah's doing good. So, we got that tonight. But on Tuesday, she played second base for 2 innings and made a defensive play, tagged the runner out and tagged the base at second and got a double play on her own.
That's awesome. What about her swing? Did you her
swing has gotten better. She's a lot more aggressive. She didn't get a hit on Tuesday, but Thursday she went 1 for 3. And she would have walked, but in this it goes once you get to four balls
pitches.
The coach comes into pitch, and so
awesome.
they don't walk them. So you have to get a hit, or you strike out. So
hey, props to her. We had a girl that played baseball with us. Her name was Rebecca, and she was our second baseman, and she was the nuts whenever we were kids.
Well, I'm excited. I was excited about it. She's gotten a lot better. She's doing really good. Good stuff.
Good morning, y'all.
MCJB, what's up, MCJB?
Good morning. Hey, Steve, I had my mic on mute, but you just got a compliment from my mom. She said you had a great voice.
I appreciate that. Tell your mom I said thank you.
Mommy said thank you. I'll see you in another room.
William, you have a lot of background noise. I put you on mute. Wait, hold on. Let me do like the Arby's voice. Tell your mom.
Oh
I
my
said
God.
We have the meats.
Chill out.
Got him. Baby. Sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna get out of here real quick, Steven. I just wanted to come and tell you hello and see how you're doing. We're on the interstate, so it's gonna be loud. So I'll see you later.
All right, man. I love you, brother. Be good.
MCJB.
What's up, William?
What's up, baby? Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Rashad. I love that picture in there.
Thank you, Charlie. Good seeing you, man.
Leroy?
I'll see
That's to a Leroy.
To a Leroy. That could have been the worst Ving Rhames impression ever attempted. Leave me alone, dude. Can't stand you. Guys, get up here. The link is in the chat. What's up, MCJB? How you been, bud?
I've been busy. How are you doing, my friend?
Pretty good, man.
It's been a while since I talked to you last.
I know. The last time we actually talked was via text when I sent you a picture of you.
I know.
When I'm watching the Atlanta Hawks play. And
Yeah.
I guess they were playing the Heat, actually, I think.
I think they were playing. No, they were playing Boston.
They were
It
playing
was,
Boston. My wife was
Yeah,
watching the game.
Boston. Fuck
And-
Boston. But
And
anyway,
they show this screenshot, and I'm like, I know that guy. So I hit pause, and I sent you a picture, and I'm like, hey, man, you know this guy? And it was you. 'Cause you work security over at the Atlanta
Yeah.
Arena, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, man. That was pretty awesome.
I've been there for a whole year. It's been pretty dope.
How cool was that photo, though?
It was cool, man. I was like, so when I found out, I was literally sitting in my area, right? And I'm getting beats like all of a sudden. I'm like, what the world is going on? Thinking that it was like an emergency from my mom. So I sneak around the back near like the players' locker room, just look at my phone. I was like, oh my God. This guy Steven just got me on TV. But yeah, it was I liked it, man. Appreciate that picture. It was cool.
Man, yeah, man. It was funny. I couldn't believe that I saw you up there.
But how are you going to any? I've seen you at baseball games on your Instagram.
I've been trying to go to a couple. I've been trying to do my thing.
Yeah,
What up, CB83?
what's cracking? What is going on with y'all, man?
What's up, man?
That man at the gym?
I'm at D5 with the kids, man.
Lit.
See, he breaking up.
It looked like it was like an extreme air sport because I saw the background.
Thing, getting a little jump on. You know how they do.
I knew it.
We have like jump zones and stuff like that here too.
Yeah. I got a day off, so I'm chilling, man, with the kids. So
you guys are out of school already. We still got another 2 weeks of school. Our last day is next Friday or next Thursday.
Yeah.
School's out for summer.
School's out for sure. Hey, man, Dalvin's coming to the crib. Don't worry, Steven. It's happening, man. It's happening.
Dalvin, you keep on breaking up, CB, but yes, Dalvin is coming, man. I think he is.
He's coming to the crib, man.
I hope he does. I really do. And I hope he ends up with the Dolphins.
Yeah, bro, it gets us over the hump, man. That's what we need. We need that veteran leadership back there. We need that stud.
I still want to see one more offensive line signing. Minimum.
Yeah, I think that'll come. I think that'll come for sure.
Whether it comes in the form of Dalton Risner or DJ Fluker, that's what I want. I want to see it.
Yeah, I can see us adding more depth on the O-line for sure, too. And I think we have some more depth on the D-line, too.
Yeah, definitely. We could do that. Look, here's the thing. The Dalvin Cook thing is going to be a minimum 3-year deal, my expectation of it. It'll have a big signing bonus.
What do you think that contract is? How much a year?
I mean, what will it come to per year, or what will his salary cap hit be this year? His salary cap
per year.
What it'll come to per year is probably 12.
Ooh, that's a lot.
But it won't be the cap hit. It'll be backloaded in that third year, right? With that, so it'll be
third year.
Yeah. So look, what'll happen is this year his salary cap hit I think will be under $5 million because the signing bonus will help. And that's what I think. I think his salary cap hit this year will be under $5 million.
I think he's somewhere around $8 million a year.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's.
Hey guys, I gotta let you go. Have a
All right, MCJB, be good, man.
Have a go on my bad.
Be good, MC. No, be good, MC.
For sure.
Look, I think realistically it's a 3-year deal with 2-year out.
That'd be a 2-year out.
It'll be in the neighborhood of 8 to 12 mil per year, but I don't think that'll be what. I think that's what it'll be on paper. I don't think it'll be guaranteed money, and I don't think it'll be the cap hit per this year.
Can I say something about this Dalvin Cook deal?
Let me retract my statement.
Rashad doesn't like the Dalvin Cook signing. I don't understand.
Why don't you like the Dalvin Cook signing, Rashad?
It's somewhat irresponsible for me. It's not addressing a need. Hold on. It's not addressing a need for. Well, I agree it's a need because he's an upgrade. Every upgrade is a need.
Curtis
But
sent
we
$15 on
have
Cash App.
So
Shout
what
out
are
to
you
you, my guy.
saying?
we still have holes, unproven holes. We still don't have depth in some positions. It's
But
worrisome.
see, the hole you're talking about is the offensive line, and he does help the offensive line. So that's the hole you're talking about,
I'm
Rashawn.
talking about offensive line. I'm talking about tight
You're talking
end.
about
I'm talking
offensive
about
line.
linebacker room.
It
I'm talking
helps.
about safety.
It helps the entire offense. Helps everybody on the offense. So I mean, you can say that. You can, in one breath say, "Hey, we're not feeling a need," but he also does contribute to that unit. He makes that unit better automatically day one when he steps into the locker room.
I
Come
never
on,
said it.
Rashad. Come on,
I've
Rashad.
never said he's not an upgrade. I've never said I didn't want him. I've never said that. I'm just saying it. If he comes, he comes. It's a good thing.
And Nick Hicks said this last night on Reason Show. He said any running back room in the NFL would take Dalvin Cook right now.
In a heartbeat.
It would be an upgrade. And they would welcome it.
I agree with it 100%. My thing is the fact that we could this is what we do. We will feed a position that we're strong. I ain't gonna say strong, that we're good
We're
at.
not strong there. We're not
And
good
then,
there.
no.
Don't
We're
say
good
that.
there. No, we're good there. When I say good,
We're
I'm saying
average.
good compared.
We're average. We're average.
We're average there, but compared to where we're bad, we won't. We will address that with more bad players, unproven players. I get it. Dalvin Cook is proven. Put him in there. We know what he's going to do, and then we take swings and we swing and miss a lot. We're batting like
But it's
190
but
when it comes to these right tackles, and
Hey,
these.
real quick, everybody here in the let me just pause for a second. Everybody's killing me in here saying 12 million is crazy, Steven.
Yeah, that's crazy.
His cap hit
It's $2
last
million.
year was 11.8. This year is supposed to be
Last year.
14. Next year is supposed to be 15. 2025 is supposed to be 13. I don't think I'm far off by the 12 mil. Now, I don't think that's what his cap hit's going to be, I said. But CB83's question to me is, what do I think it'll come down to in the an aggregate over the per year over the 3 years?
per
and
year.
I think it'll come down to 12. So if he ends, that's 12, 24, 36. He will get a 3-year, $36 million deal. It'll be in the 30s. And it'll be a big signing bonus. And his cap hit this year will be under 5. And that's how I think it's going to happen. I don't think I'm far off.
I think you're a couple million off, maybe a few, but I think
it got to be a $6 to $8 million deal.
For around, I think 7 and 8.
He said he would take. All right, so to be fair, he did say that he would take a pay cut to join, right?
Yeah.
But the Dolphins can still backload that crap and make it that the cap hit. Like they could say, here's what we'll do so that the running back situation doesn't get screwed up. We'll say 36 mil, 20 of it, 24 of it will be 20 to 24 of it will be guaranteed. And we'll give you and they'll give you let's say $8 to $12 million signing bonus.
Steven, what we will be doing is,
and Steven, I think we're gonna move somebody. I think somebody's gonna be moved.
Cedric Wilson's gone, bro. Cedric Wilson is gone.
Whether it's Cedric Wilson, Mostert, or Wilson, or Ahmed, or Gaskins, I don't know who it is, but I think there's gonna be at least 1 or 2 guys
for the first time back in a month. Mark from Bills.
Oh my gosh! Why did you?
I felt so rejected for a month.
Hey,
I'm sorry, Mark.
Mark, you're from Dolphins.
Who got Mark out of here for a month?
He got kicked out for a month.
I did have some questions and some things I'm a little confused by because I was working. And
Mark, are you a Dolphins fan again yet or no?
CB, I've gone over all this with you, and I'm not going to waste my time going over it again. If you can't remember, I'm sorry. If you're too drunk or too stoned, I don't care.
He's with his kids. He ain't drunk or stoned, Mark.
Man, Mark's mad. He's upset. It's okay, Mark.
I have nothing to be upset about. I'm a 3-time division winner. You're a 23-year loser. So what the fuck do I have to be any concerned about? Sorry, I owe you a fucking square jar.
Whoa!
What in the world?
Whoa!
Somebody's got
See,
fans in Arkansas.
Steven, you throw someone off for a month, they get salty. I'm telling you, we miss you.
Hey, somebody's got that.
Anyway,
fans in
CB,
Arkansas
CB,
morning.
Rashad, I hope you're doing well, man. Love it. Love the enthusiasm.
well.
Hey, I'm a little confused about the Cook thing. So I thought you guys were getting, if you're going to go after Cook, which I don't necessarily understand. What's all the thing with the money? I mean, what's the deal? I thought you're going to get him for like $3 million or something on a low end deal.
That's not realistic.
What I said is that I think his cap hit will be under $5 million this year, Mark. That's what I think.
I agree. Yeah, I would agree totally. But,
I could agree
what
with
do you
that,
got?
but he's going to get $7 to $8 million a year at the least. I mean, I think that's reasonable. I think that's the perfect contract for him. I know, Mark.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if he's
Mark.
Yeah, go ahead.
The deal will be.
I know you don't like that.
The deal will be a 3-year minimum, $30 million minimum deal, but it won't be fully guaranteed. It'll be a certain amount of guaranteed.
That's just an awful lot of money for a 28-year-old running back. And see, if you get Cook, and this is where I'm confused. I'm not understanding where the value is here when you've taken a 3rd-round draft choice and drafted, the kid from Texas A&M, A-Chain, and I'm not seeing the investment when there's areas on the team. To be honest with you, I think you need help at defensive tackle. I don't like where you're at. I mean, I like Seiler, I like Wilkins, but both of those guys are free agents at the end of the year.
All you need is depth.
Riding waves, boo Vegas, boo. Go ahead, Mark.
And anyway, so you've got kind of the same problem that Buffalo has, in that I think that you can't. Okay.
Just stop. We're nothing like them. We're nothing like them in no facet. We're a better football team from top to bottom. We're nothing like you guys.
To be fair, Mark, Dalvin's going to provide 100% depth for this football team, and he's going to be able to.
Good morning, Steven.
Good morning, Bonjo.
Good morning, my Dolphin fans.
Bonjo, you get your morning workout in yet, bro?
Oh, already. I'm already done.
All right.
So that's why I just came up here to just vote Mark off. I want to insider vote.
Oh, damn.
CB83?
I second that.
Rashad?
They already won. We already won. What are you talking about? I got to vote.
Sorry, Mark. You had to go.
There you go.
Had to go.
My vote not going to change nothing.
Hey, appreciate you,
Y'all can still donate, though. Help the
you
channel
did something
grow.
great for the community today. You did something great for the community today.
Bonjo out here doing
I tried to.
Out here doing
I tried to.
You Bills fans.
But today is an exciting day. We now have $13 million in cap. Actually, $10 million in cap.
4 o'clock.
Yeah, we're going to have $10 million in cap at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
So,
yes, sir.
What do you think we're going to do? What do you think we're going to do, Bonjo?
With $10 million?
Sit on it.
Nah,
Not
we
much.
signing rookies and signing Dalvin.
That's why we.
Signing Dalvin.
So if we sign Dalvin, and Steven, I heard you were talking about the backloading. Rumors was that's why the trade fell apart to begin with, is because Dalvin does not want his contract backloaded. And we don't have
pay cut to be here.
Hey,
He didn't say
dog up front.
That pay cut ain't nearly big
He didn't say that. He never said that. That never was said.
Yesterday on Reason
Nick
Show,
said that Nick Hicks paid less
Nick Hicks said he's willing to take a pay cut to come to the Dolphins,
but he wants the contract front loaded,
which may be the case. Give him the money.
So you can do that, Bonjo, with a high signing bonus and spread it out over 3 years.
Yeah.
Bro, I am not about this spreading over 3 years.
What you're saying, Steven, is the NFL has just reset the market for running backs by cutting running backs with big contracts. You're saying the Dolphins are willing to pay a 28-year-old running back, make him one of the highest paid, which he is already, but confirm, guarantee him. Yeah, but we're willing to guarantee.
That's working backwards.
Guys, listen to
Yeah,
this.
we're working backwards. Exactly.
Hold on. Let's play this out. We know that Dalvin Cook would be an asset to our football team, right? We all agree with that.
No
Correct.
doubt.
All right. We also agree that Dalvin Cook is probably top 3 running back in the NFL, or at least
we don't agree with that.
Is probably
I was gonna say
top 6.
top 5. Fine.
Top
He's
6.
good.
Top
And
6.
he's
I give him top 6.
whatever. Okay.
I'm gonna say top 3. You gone too far, Biggs. You're gone too far.
Fine. Whatever. Top 5. We're talking semantics here. The point I'm trying to make is he's going to get paid like a top 5 running back. We already know that running backs are feeling disrespected. They're pissed off. And the NFLPA has already said as much. Dalvin, obviously being the guy that he is with Minnesota, Minnesota's not paying his what is he supposed to get this year? He's supposed to get cap hit this year. If he plays, would be 14, 15.
I think it's 14 or something like that.
14 this year, 15 next year, 13 next year. You're right. They're not going to pay that, right? CB83's question to me was, all right, well, what did the Dolphins pay him? Well, they can't give him a 1 or 2 year deal on only 8 to 10 mil. It's just like that doesn't make sense for them. What makes sense is giving him a 3-year deal with an out after 2, making it above $30 million so it looks like the running backs are being respected, and making a big signing bonus so that the cap hit this year stays under 5 mil, which it will. I'm telling you right now, that's how it's going to play out. On everything. That's how it's going to play out.
I agree with that to some extent. I just think the numbers will be a little bit different.
I
think
think
he's going to take less money than he's already getting in Minnesota. So I think it's a win for the Dolphins.
I don't think Dalvin's going to be here, but that's just me personally.
Where do you think Dalvin ends up?
Somebody's going to give him 10, 11 million. I just don't think it's going to be the Dolphins.
So time out. Here's the first question, gentlemen.
I'm going to be real with you.
On a scale of 1 to 10. Or no, we'll do percentage. 0 to 100%. What are the percentages that he stays in Minnesota?
I'm going to say I'm going to go with 60. 70.
You say 70?
70% chance he stays in Minnesota, Vonjo?
Yep.
They took him off all their marketing material, every last bit. He's not on their website. He's not on any of the season ticket holder stuff. He's not there at all. They've erased him from all social media, everything.
25%. He stays.
Okay.
I think there's a 25% chance. That to me sounds accurate.
Okay, I'll say 55.
Okay, all right. So, in general, the odds of him being on another team by the end of this week, percentage-wise, 0 to 100.
By the end of this week?
Yes, on another team.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I'll say 5%
right away.
100%. He'll be.
You don't think it's going to happen right away?
I'm telling you right now, by the end of this week, he'll be in a different uniform.
Right away.
Steven,
I think Dalvin's that good.
Steven, you know this Thursday, right?
Dalvin
by
will
Sunday
be on another football team come Friday or Saturday. Mark my words.
You know today's Thursday, right, Steven?
I do. I understand that. 4 o'clock's going to come. Minnesota will release him at 4:01. Then he'll be free to talk to whoever the hell he wants to talk to.
He'll be and
by the way, he doesn't have to clear waivers with this wave. He automatically becomes a free agent.
Hey, the Dolphins probably already got the deal in place. Let's go. Let's run it. Let's get down here to Miami and let's welcome him into the locker room.
That's wishful thinking.
I think there's an 80%.
That's hella wishful thinking.
80% chance he's a Miami Dolphin. 15% chance he stays with the Minnesota Vikings, and a 5% chance he's on another football team.
I got a 3% chance he's a Miami Dolphin. And I honestly hope he does come to the Dolphins because it ain't my money. I'll be real with you. So I honestly hope he makes it. But the likelihood of him actually making it is I'm at 3%.
I'll switch that around. I'll say 5% he stays with Minnesota, 15% he goes to another football team, and 80% he goes to the Dolphins. That's where I'm at with it.
80%.
Yes.
And Steven, this is where I'm.
Yo, you sound like Drake a while ago. 80%.
I told you,
Drake.
Told you, Drake.
Hey, and by the way, why don't you think we're going to backload when 90% of our contracts are already backloaded to begin with?
Why
he
would we
doesn't want to be
backload?
backloaded.
It don't.
Yeah, exactly. He won't. Who's gonna
Bro,
backload a
I don't
man
want to
that's
go into
28
the
years
season with
old?
no
Pause.
money. I don't want to go into the season with no money, man. Give it all
Exactly.
away. Go get the guys
Oh,
and go get the
Okay,
chips,
so
bro.
we agree
we in two
that they
different
got to
boats,
make
Stevie.
another move or two, right?
No,
So
I
we
ain't
don't
thinking about the
agree.
future. I'm thinking about tomorrow.
We
I ain't
don't
thinking
agree
about the
on that.
future.
That's
No.
you
I'm
and
thinking about
CB83.
tomorrow.
We
Cedric,
can
I'm thinking
roll
about
over
tomorrow.
since
I ain't rolling
2022.
over nothing, bro. This ain't no rollover.
You are
We ain't
able to
roll
roll over
minutes,
your cap.
bro.
Let me roll
We
over
not
my
rolling
cap.
over no
I'm
minutes.
good.
And we not rolling over
It's,
no minutes. Run that.
So who
Run
rolled
that
over
money.
27
Pay the
million
dude.
last year?
was it the Arizona Cardinals? No, it wasn't the Arizona Cardinals. It
Was it
was.
Cleveland?
I think Cleveland rolled over 12.
I know there was a team that rolled over like the league high 27 million.
Hey,
It was
Steven, I
Cleveland.
gotta
let me
roll,
ask
man.
you
I gotta roll.
if we drop Cedric, what's the cap savings?
CB, it's kind of messed up, bro. How come you didn't invite me and the family to the trampoline park, man?
5
Hey, you
million, I
can come
think.
kick it with me anytime, Vonjo. Anytime, bro.
My kids are out of
Hey,
school too.
long as you don't bring that boy Lewis. That boy Lewis is the ops,
God
bro. He the
dang.
ops.
Dang.
I'm gonna holler at y'all
Dang.
boys, man.
Love you, brother. Be good, man.
Love you, bro. Y'all be good.
All right, stay up.
Look,
Actually, oh shoot, Steven, I gotta get to work. I'm tripping. I gotta go to work.
well, we'll do final thought of the day. Rashad, I'll make Vonjo the final thought. Rashad, give me your final thought of the day.
Final thought is we roll over this cap or we save it to mid-season. Oh, you ain't heard the rumor either. There's a rumor going out that the Dolphins are working on a deal depending on a trade, depending on record, a mid-season trade for Derrick Henry. All right, I'm out.
Foolishness. Buffoonery.
We're not even in mid-season yet, so how can that be something?
No, somebody posted that on Twitter, and it's buffoonery, shenanigans. But final thought is the June 1st is finally here. What we've been all waiting for. So everybody keeps saying we have 13 million in cap space. That's false because people don't understand that it takes about 3 mil to sign our drafts. So automatically we're at 10.
We're at 10, and we could probably, from what I know, there's probably another 6 mil that we could save with Cedric. So that's 16 mil right there.
Yeah, or re-signing Christian Wilkins, extending him could give you another 10. So you could be at 20. You could be at 26 mil. If you restructure, if you extend Wilkins, right? But tell you the truth, I don't think we're gonna do any of that. I think we're gonna end up. I don't think Dalvin Cook is gonna end up being a Dolphin, unless it's just like a super cheap deal. Secondly, I think the writing's on the wall where you've been seeing rave reviews from our beat writers and our coaches speaking so highly of A-Chain. I think the reason why they're speaking so highly of him is to prep us for, hey, we don't need Dalvin Cook, right? So I think that's what's going on. Also, I really believe that if anything, the move that we make is we do extend Wilkins and Connor Williams and Hunt. So those are the things I see happening. And Greer likes to carry money into the season for injuries. I think in the past couple of years, he usually carry around 7 or 8 million into the season.
Yeah, something like that.
And the rest that we,
I think there'll be a minimum of 5 at the least.
Yeah. So I mean, if you do that, I mean,
look, and here's the thing: I want to see Dalton Risner. I want to see Dalvin Cook. And it depends on what type of deal you can get with those guys. I think the restructure for Christian is obviously there, right? And extending him out.
Yeah.
And the Cedric Wilson, you're going to get 5 to 7 million, somewhere in that range. So, I think there's a lot of things to like about what the Dolphins can do as far as money's concerned, starting at 4:00. We'll see what happens.
Well, so, I mean, tomorrow you're going to have one heck of a show, I believe, because if nothing happens, I mean, what is there to really talk about if nothing happens?
There'll be a lot to talk about. Talk about how the Heat won game 1 against the Nuggets.
I really think that the Heat could take game 1 because Denver Nuggets been sitting too long. So I really think that, and I've been saying this for a while, that whether it was the Heat or the Boston, that Denver is going to lose game one because they've just been sitting. If they don't win game one and they win it impressively, it's going to be a long series for the. Actually, it could be a very short series for the Heat, but a very
$5
long
million
off
in
season.
savings for Cedric. Okay, good to know. Okay.
It could be a long off season for Heat fans. But
I think it's going to be a long off season no matter what happens. I think Heat fans are very excited about the direction of this franchise and where they're at, and they have a chance to win it all right now. So let's see how it plays out, you know?
Which is very true, very true, very true. So I recant my statement. But anyway, Steven, I got to get to work.
I missed you on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was so busy on Wednesday, I couldn't even come on. I ain't going to hold you up. I couldn't make it on Wednesday.
I feel like you don't love me no more, man.
It's just real busy. The kids are out of school, so my schedule is completely out of whack. And getting ready for my daughter's recital and ordering stuff, things coming in, me having to go pick things up in between gym time. So it's just been real crazy, real hectic in the Solomon household.
Hey,
got people flying in today. So,
all right, tell the people what they need to do. Donate, hit the like.
Yeah, people donate, hit the like. How far are you away from the next tier as far as subscribers?
Oh shoot, I need another 700 subscribers to get to 11,000.
All right, so let's try to get to that 700. Let's get 700 more subscribers by training camp. That's the goal. That's the move. So tell a friend.
We better be at like 13 or 14 by training camp.
Hey, listen, Steve. I'm taking baby steps here. Let me crawl before I run. So guys, come on, let's spread the news. And yeah, all of a sudden, you know, the national media is talking positive about us, but we've been talking that Dolphin talk and positive talk here way before the national media for the past 3 years. So come on, guys, donate, share, subscribe if you haven't, and let's make it happen. Let's help the channel grow.
Hey man, I appreciate it, Vonjo. Love you, brother.
All right, take care.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Batman, I'm sorry, man. I got to get out of here. I got to go pick up the car. I can't do it, man. I'll bring you on next time, my guy. Tomorrow's Friday, Spread Kindness Friday with Jason Sarney. Be on the lookout for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk salary cap. We're going to dive into, if anything went down this evening. Somebody asked me if I would go live later. I don't necessarily like to. I like to talk about, if I go live, it doesn't give me anything to talk about the next day except repeating what I've already said. So if something does go down this afternoon, I'll talk about it tomorrow morning. So it will be there. Want to remind you guys to donate to the channel. I just put the links for Cash App and PayPal. If you guys are able to donate, I'm telling you it helps. And we're going through to be fair, we're going through a downtime the last couple of months. So anything you are able to donate, if you are able to, please do. It helps. It will help. And then as far as the tailgates are concerned, we're extending it out one more week till next Friday for the pre-sale for Philadelphia, Baltimore, and DC. If you look in the description below, you'll see the links to Philly, Baltimore, and DC. It'll be good to go. Make sure you guys check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. I appreciate all of you. You guys are the best. I hope you guys tune in tomorrow for Spread Kindness Friday. And shout out to Bryant McKinnie today. Thank you so much. Shout out to Armando Velez of Locked On Panthers Hockey. The entire Locked On family has been absolutely amazing. And yeah, that's been about it. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. I will see you all tomorrow right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'll see y'all. Peace.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter collar. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds the gift. He know when to go with fit. so we knowin' when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we en route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't wanna overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, league gon' know this now. You should know